reaching out for it and just guiding it through backward point for 4. Good shot, the first boundary.
I think Fidel wasn't just settled down a bit. The line was bad. He was trying to get a full one right up into the block hole. It was wide, and it was nicely played. Beautiful shot for 4 runs.
Absolutely. Here comes Fidel Edwards. What will be his response? He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is forward defensive. The first dot ball that we're seeing so far. The score remains 12 without loss. This is over number 2, 12 without loss. Dikwela on 7 now, and Gunathalika, he's on 4. Of course, let's tell you about some of the players to look out for, impact players. There's so many in this contest, and certainly one of them is the captain for the Sri Lankan side, Angela Matthews. He's been a veteran. He's been around the Sri Lankan outfit for a very, very long time indeed. You would have heard him at the toss indicating that he's pretty much just standing in as a captain for this contest. We'll talk about some more impact players to come, including Hasaranga. Here comes Dikwela facing up to Fidel Edwards from the southern end. Starts in bowls, and this one is full outside the off stump and driven into the covers, fielded by Kevin Sinclair. There is no run. The score remains 12 without loss in over number 2. Dikwela on 7, Gunathalika on 4.
Yes, he leaned into that one. Didn't quite get the ball in the middle of the bat. Took on a thick outside edge and went straight to the man there at the square cover. That's Sinclair. And Edwards lucky not to get that one dispatched. But the Sri Lankan batsmen are going to have to pounce on the opportunities. They are going to have to get the scoring rate up. It is a T20 game after all, and scoring on this ground is going to be easy, especially with Gale in the lineup.
Absolutely. Here comes Fidel Edwards starting again, bowls, and this one just back off a length. Good delivery just on off stump or just outside, driven into the covers. Kyron Pollard feels there is no run, so Dikwela not able to, for the last 2 deliveries, not able to get the ball off the square. They're certainly working to a plan to rotate the strike as much as possible. The last 2 deliveries, cramping him on that. 12 without loss.
All right, and Garfield, when you think about batting first, the Sri Lankan team, and you know you have Lendell Simmons, Lewis to come in, followed by Gale. You have Pollard down the order. You know you're going to have to put up a score here. So not only are they trying not to get out, but they're going to have to try to build a score that's big enough to allow the West Indians to compete here.
Absolutely. T20 rankings, West Indies 10th, Sri Lanka 7th. Here comes Fidel Edwards. Starts again, bowls, and this one a full toss. Driven down to mid-on. There's a shy of the stumps at the striker's end. The batsmen get home 13 without loss. The end of over number 2 there. That was a full delivery pretty much on the stumps. That's turned to mid-on. There's a shy of the stumps there, but the batsmen get through. Dikwela on 7, Gunathalika on 4, 13 without loss after 2 overs.
Yes, and that last delivery was also full. It was right up to the bat, full onto the bat. Should have been dispatched properly, and Fidel lucky to have not had the batsman capitalize on that one. He tucked it straight to mid-on and got a single. I would also say that there was a couple half volleys that the batsman Dikwela missed out upon. They are going to have to take advantage of those to apply some pressure here. But they're both there, and I'm sure they're trying to settle in and understand how the pitch is playing before they start get going.
Sinclair to bowl his second over. He's done for 6 so far. This one using his feet, driven over the bowler's head. That will run very close to the boundary. It will be picked up, though, well inside the boundary in the end. They get 2 runs, so the score moving on to 15. Well, actually, just 1 run they got from that. Well, 15, 2 runs. So 15 without loss. So Dikwela just lifting that one. Didn't really go for power. Just looking to lift that one over the bowler's head, and he succeeded in that. Here comes Kevin Sinclair. What will his response be? It's up to the wicket bowls, and this one is stroked into the offside. Square on the offside, can't score. Bravo is quick on the draw. They have to stay in their creases. 15 without loss. Dikwela remains on 10. He's looked perhaps a little bit more on the offensive, on the front foot. Dikwela, he wants to score. Let's see what Kevin Sinclair will be able to do. He's up to the wicket bowls, and this one is swept. Is in the air just over the fine leg fielder. There's a chase on here. It will run into the boundary, but didn't go. That pretty much a top edge sweep on that one. A chase around for Obed McCoy at the fine leg position. That one just over his head at short fine leg.
Well, yes, he swept at it. It took the top edge of the bat and scooped over Obed's head. He was never going to get to that, and once it dropped, he just ran down the slope for 4. Now, they're going to have to take some chances. He looks like he's ready, Dikwela is, to take some chances. They know they have to get the scoring rate up, and they're trying now.
Here comes another delivery here from Kevin Sinclair, using his feet, just driving this down to in an extra cover position, fielded. The long off fielder was looking to come around, who is Jason Holder, but the ball didn't quite reach to him. It was fielded in a extra cover position. They get more runs, so the score now 20 without loss, and Gunathalika comes back on strike. He's on 4. Most of the scoring being done by Dikwela. This one is driven into the onside, fielded there at mid-wicket by the captain, Kyron Pollard. There is no run. Gunathalika Thalika was looking to beat Captain Karen Pollard there, had to stay in his crease. This is one ball left in over number 3. So far, this over has yielded 7 runs. What will Sinclair be able to do? Will we be able to keep things tight on the last one? This one is swung in the air and caught. Brilliant catch by Karen Pollard. What a catch, diving away to his right at mid-wicket, and that was the catch of an absolute, almost cat-like reflexes from the captain, Karen Pollard. We expect that from him, but he pulled it off. Brilliant catch to dismiss Gunathalika. He's gone for 4.
What were you watching? Were you watching the catch or the celebration? Sinclair sprinted across the field, did a front flip and then a back flip. Wow, what an exciting, whoa, what an execution. I tell you what.
The gymnastics are out.
He's in his first game, second over, last ball of the second over. He had 7 runs in that over, and this is a successful start for this young man's career. He's pulled up a wicket, and quite excited and happy he is. And Pollard making a diving effort, just a little bit to his left, and picked it up nicely. But they had to go at it. They're not scoring at fast enough a rate, and so they took a challenge, and he was out. Well bowled by Sinclair.
Sinclair getting his first wicket, and what a fantastic opportunity. And let me just describe what happened for you. The gymnastics are out. He showed that, the acrobatics, the gymnastics, the flamboyant celebrations, he showed that in the just concluded CG Insurance Super 50, and that was pretty much an add-on, because whereas in the CG Super 50 we do 1 flip, he did 2 today. 1 backwards, 1 forwards. What a fantastic opportunity for the young man. Score now 20-1 after 3 overs.
It's a different level, and he took the flips up another notch, and certainly an exciting afternoon here to watch him do that celebration. And T20 is about celebration. I think he's about to create a signature celebration for West Indies T20 cricket, in addition to the big salute.
From the southern end, it will be a change in bowling. So after 1 over, Fiddle Edwards is off. It will be Jason Holder who will be coming into bowl, wearing number 98 on his shirt from the southern end. So the last batsman to have been dismissed, or the batsman to have been dismissed so far, Danushka Gunathalika, going for 4 of 6 delivers, looking to push up the scoring. Here comes another a new over here started. This one is punched back with a square. There's 1 run. They're looking to come back for the second. They will come back for the second run. The new batsman is Nisanka. The new batsman is Pathum Nisanka, coming in at number 3. He's at the non-strikers, and Dikwela getting that one, just a back of a length delivery, just going on his back foot and just punching that through a backward point. 2 more runs. He moves on to 17. He's been pushing on the scoring. The score 22 for 1. We're in over number 4.
Yes, and just a little bit. They're going at a not too much of a high run rate that I'm sure they would be happy with. But they've only got 1 wicket down. It's a 20 game on a small ground. They can still accelerate. The umpires are trying to see if that was a 4. It appears to not be, as the fielder did a quite nice job. That was Allen in pulling it back in. So only 2 runs.
Here comes Jason Holder to start again from the southern end with 1 slip in place. Chris Gale is at slip. He's up to the wicket to bowl to Dikwela. And this one is beaten outside the off stump. The ball just whizzing past the outside edge from Jason Holder. A good lift, good bounce on that one as the ball was taken by wicketkeeper Nicholas Puran.
Yes, but that's what you find with long arms and heights. You can pitch the delivery just back of the length, and it picks up and doesn't give the batsman enough time to hit through the line. That one climbed so high, the batsman missed it completely. Well bowled by Jason Holder.
Here comes Jason Holder again, getting a moral booster from that previous delivery. And again, he beats Dikwela outside the off stump. Dikwela looking possibly almost like a nothing shot. He's perhaps eyeing that gap between the slip, who is Chris Gale, and a short third man, looking to possibly get through that to the third man boundary. Missing the ball going to be taken by wicketkeeper Nicholas Brown. The score remains 22 for 1. Dikwela has been looking to push up the scoring. He's been looking to up the ante, but the ball is not quite getting there for him to hit.
Yes, well bowled by Jason Holder.
Here comes Dikwela now, facing up again to Jason Holder. So far, he has been tight in this over. There's 2 runs conceded, looking for an improvised shot there, which turned out to have been it looked rather ungainly in the end, because he was trying possibly a switch hit, the reverse sweep, the reverse little scoop shot. In the end, it played nothing, and the ball just went behind to be taken by the wicket keeper. 3 dot balls on the trot.
Yes, he wanted to do, it wasn't up and over, but he was trying to pick it up, trying to think that one was going to climb higher. It didn't, went lower, and he missed it completely.
22 for 1. We're in over number 4. Dikwala on 17. Facing up now to Jason Holder from the southern end. Bowls, and this one is stroked square on the offside. 1 run to deep point. The score moves on by 1 to 23. Dikwala moves on now to 18. 23 for 1. 1 ball left in over number 4. And Pathum Nisanka, number 3 for the Sri Lankans, comes back on strike, reminding you that if you're just joining us, welcome to our listeners right across the Caribbean, right across the world on CWI's YouTube channel. West Indies winning the toss and batting. Karen Pollard inserting the Sri Lankans into bat first. The batsman to be dismissed so far, Danushka Gunathalika. He went for 4. A brilliant catch by Karen Pollard to dismiss him. It was an absolute blinder, diving to his right and taking it two-handed. The celebration from Kevin Sinclair, who took the wicket, was absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, he gave you some glimpses in the CG Insurance Super 50, and he upped it today with 2 gymnastic displays. Brilliant. Here comes Jason Holder to bowl the last ball of over number 4. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is just turning that into behind square. They get 1 run, so that's the end of over number 4. Nisanka, the right-handed batsman, he is off the mark. He moves on now he's on 124 for 1. The score after 4 overs. The Sri Lankans put into bat by the West Indies 24 for 1 after 4 overs.
Yes, and I'd be very happy if I were Karen Pollard, 24 runs after 4. You want to keep the teams somewhere within that range if you're going to apply the pressure. If you stick that to that level, they're going to have to take some risks, and in order to move it further. Dikwala seems to be the one who wants to be innovative and creative. Nasinka just got in. He's going to try to pick up the pace and see how he can get scoring, but Dikwala is ready to try to be innovative here, and Jason Holder not giving much at all. A beautiful over by him, and his skipper Pollard would be very happy with that delivery. With that over.
Interesting move now, because Jason Holder, who had bowled 1 over from the southern end, has now been switched to the northern end. So he'll be bowling to the right.
Fiddle Edwards.
Fiddle Edwards, yes. He'll be bowling to the right-handed Pathum Nisanka, so bowling from the northern end. Here comes Fiddle Edwards with a slip in place, who is Christopher Gale, the universe boss, wearing number 45 on his shirt. Fiddle Edwards steams in bowls, and this one is driven into the covers. Can't score, fielded there in the covers. The score remains on 24 for 1. 24 for 1. Nisanka, the right-handed batsman, who would have stroked that one into the offside. Fiddle Edwards, who wears number 66 on his shirt, certainly looking to make an impact here. Again, reminding you of the 2 sides for the West Indies: Lendl Simmons, Evan Lewis, Christopher Gale, Nicholas Buran, Karen Pollard, Jason Holder, Fabian Allen, Dwayne Bravo, Kevin Sinclair making his debut, Obed McCoy, and Fiddle Edwards, who is turning out the top of his mark as the lights start to take effect here. The dusk is settling on the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, making its international debut for cricket. Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He's up to bowls, and this one going for the shot there was Nisanka outside the off stump, missing. The ball actually didn't climb as much as he intended. The ball actually went under the bat, to be taken by Nicholas Puran. No run, 24 for 1. We're in over number 5.
Yeah, and that one had some pace in it. Came in at 140 as well Ks, and I think Edwards trying to get it right. His run-up is not as smooth. I see his skipper speaking to him. His length on that time was pretty good. Then the batsman missed that one, beaten by pace there a bit. I'm sure Edwards is trying to prove, yes, I'm here, and he would love to get a wicket. Let's see what he does.
Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He starts again to move in from the northern end to bowl to Nisanka, and this one is whipped through the onside. It will be fielded there at the deep mid-wicket position. They come back for 2 runs. Good running there by the Sri Lankans, as they were, you would have heard through the RFX microphone, the Sri Lankan batsman just calling for the second run. And Nisanka and Dikwala getting 2 runs there. So Nisanka moves up by 2 to 3. He's on 26. The score now 26 for 1 in over number 5.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they picked up 2 there. I think Sinclair was may have been a little bit, yes, he was a little sloppy with that one. But at this level, one mistake, and they're going to take advantage of it. And we saw that happened quite easily. They ran 2, and he has to tidy up his game, but he's still probably getting his legs under him, Sinclair.
2 dot balls and a couple in this over so far. Here comes Fiddle Edwards, bowls, and this one is in the air, whipped over the onside. Didn't get quite good timing on it. A chase on here. It will be pulled back inside. They get at least 2 runs. So 2 runs there, as Evan Lewis, who had a chase on there, wearing number 17, the same number he wore for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, who were absolutely rampaging to win the CG Insurance Super 50 just last Saturday. So 2 more runs. We're in over number 5. And it's 28 now for 1, 28 for 1. Didn't quite get, looking for the pull shot, didn't quite come on to the bat as much as he would have wanted. The ball didn't quite get the timing on that, Nisanka.
Yes, it climbed a little bit more than he anticipated, but he played it in front of him. And he says that he's picking up the line and the pace pretty well.
Slipping places. Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one a full delivery on the leg stump, and just looking to turn that one into the onside, looking to whip it into the onside. Let's see the signal from the umpire. Looks to have come off the pad. Yes, leg by from the leg by signal. So 29 now for 1, 29 for 1. 1 ball left in over number 5. Let's give you the squad for. Let's give you the starting 11 for the Sri Lankans. Angela Matthews, the captain. Angela Matthews, the captain. Danushka Gunathalika, who was just dismissed, brilliantly caught for 4. Nirashen Dikwela, Pathum Nisanka, Dinesh Chandimal, Ashin Bandara, Thisara Pereira, Wanida Hasaranga. He's one to look out for. Akaya Dhananjaya, Donoshma Chimura, Noan Prandeep. That's 11 for the Sri Lankans. Here comes Fiddle Edwards, the ball, the last ball of over number 5. He's up to the wicket now to bowl to the left-handed Dikwela. This is in the ear, whipped down to the deep backward square leg position. They get 1, so Dikwela gets 1. He keeps the strike for over number 6. So after 5 overs, 30 for 1, scoring at 6 and over, 30 for 1, the Sri Lankans. Dikwela on 19. Nisanka, the new batsman, on 5. That's the latest score here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds after more comments from Darwin Telemack. A little bit time for the first time today for Vernon Springer.
Yes, and certainly Fiddle Edwards going for 6 in this over. That last delivery, you can almost feel that the batsmen are picking up the pace of Fiddle Edwards pretty nicely. There was the first ball, the pull shot played by Nisanka, and Dikwela just played the similar shot on the offside. They're playing him in front of square, so they picked up the pace. They're playing him square of the wicket, and so we are going to see a nice contest here, but they can't really compete going at 6, so they're going to try to accelerate. They could not dispatch Fiddle Edwards previously, and we'll see if they can do so now.
Good evening, Darwin.
Hi.
Holder, it comes in out and bowls a good length delivery. Dikwela not coming out to the pitch of the ball, just hands really. 30 for 1, we into over number 6. A lovely day here in Antigua and Barbuda at the Coolidge Grounds. How was your day?
It's pretty good, and was looking forward to this. Happy to be here. Happy to see these young men outside trying to do their best for their countries and impress the globe here. Very, very good opportunity for all these players outside.
Jason Holder from the media center, and he comes in out the ball to Dikwela. He's moving across and driving that beautifully to cover. No need to chase. Lovely shot, 4 runs. Half volley, and he just leaned into it. Didn't really try to hit it too hard, Dikwela. And he goes up to 19. Score goes up to 30 for 1. So far in the innings, they've hit 3 boundaries down.
Yeah, this one was actually full. He tried to bowl it way up into the block hole. He came full onto the bat. He didn't. He just massaged it through extra cover, and no one had a chance to go there. I think Jason Holder, having bowled a length previously, just a little back of a length, decided to try to attack the stumps and was dispatched.
Holder weighing the number 98. He comes in out the ball. The delivery goes back and punches that over gully. Down to the boundary for 4. Coming around is Fabian Allen. That's good work there by him down in the third man area and being able to at least save a run. He cut that down very quickly. So they're only able to get 1 there, Darwin.
Yes, Dikwela certainly ready to go. He knows he's playing a 2020 game. He knows that 6 and over is not good enough. He's been in for a while, and he has to accelerate here. So we're probably going to see some shots from him, but he didn't get hold of that one, and it flew over the head. I think that was Simmons over there, and Allen came around and picked up nicely.
Nisanka is on 5, waits for Jason Holder. He's a right-hander, Nisanka. Holder's in out the both team. He's whipping that beautifully, and that will be going into the square boundary area. That's good work. Did he save it? No, I don't think he did, and he'll be very disgusted with himself there. Fabian Allen, he came around like a 200-meter sprinter from Jamaica, got around, but really didn't stay on his feet. He just lost it in the end.
He's Jamaican, but certainly no Usain Bolt. but he tried. He tried and he missed it, and it was 4 runs. Holder not keeping the same line and giving a few away here. I'm wondering why he changed his length. Sorry, he was bowling a good length, and now he's bowling a little more full.
Yeah, pretty interesting. 39 for 1. Holder comes in now. The boat in his angle. He's going for a shot that he certainly didn't need to. He could have been able to look to punch that to the offside. It was a length delivery, and he was looking to clobber that over mid-wicket. Missed it completely, and a good take by Nicholas Puran behind the stump. Over number 6 being bowled. Out of this over so far, 9 runs. Holder be very disappointed so far in terms of what has been happening, Darwin, in this over.
Well, yes, he bowled a few deliveries. At this level, if you bowl these bad deliveries, it's going to be dispatched. In the previous tournament, we would see balls missed. You're not going to get missed here. If you bowl bad, they're going to smack you around, and we saw that happen from both batsmen.
Holder comes in now. Go to him. Well pitch up delivery. That's a good comeback delivery from him. I think that's what he was trying to bowl Darwin in that line. And finally comes to an end. Over number 6 is completed. The end of the first power play. 40 for 1 Sri Lanka. The run rate is 6.67. Dequella is 24 and Nasanka is 10. Holder, 9 runs coming off that over.
Actually, we had 10 runs off that over, 2 fours and 2 singles. And Holder, so far, the most expensive over in the Sri Lankan innings. And I think those balls were actually attempts to try to attack the stumps. They were full, but in this type of game, if you're going to bowl length balls, you're going to have to figure out the right length and maintain it. The 2 balls that he bowled, which were length balls, they missed them. When he bowls it full, they smack it. So it's easy to see what he should continue doing. It's not always easily done, but consistency pays off well, and not as consistent as he would have liked to have been.
So 40 for 1 at the end of the first power play. Sri Lanka, as Darwin said, would not be very satisfied. We would know that they would want to be able to start moving. The run rate is 6.67. The matchups between these two teams have played some 11 games. Sri Lanka have won 6, West Indies have won 5. Obed McCoy will start from the CIUN, and he comes in now to bowl to Nasanka. Nasanka is driving beautifully out to cover, and coming off the sweeper area is Fabian Allen, and he just restricts that one down to 1. The score goes up to 41 for 1. Obed McCoy, good foil here. So the West Indies decided to go for a little variety. Left arm seamer, and he's got some variations. It'll be a good matchup here for him, weighing the number 61. He's only picked up 1 wicket so far. He's only played 3 West Indies in his T20 career for the West Indies, so this will be a good outing for him. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Had a little injury, and maybe might have progressed a little bit more had it not been for the injury. We're on the lights here at the Coolidge Ground. First international game, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. Historic day. McCoy comes in now to bowl to Dick Dweller. He's just clipping this beautifully out once again to the man himself, Fabian Allen. He's been in the wars here, moving around all the time, Darwin. The ball is like it's falling in.
Well, he's the only player square up the wicket on the onside to Dequella, and he ran around and picked it up. I think skipper Pollard expects McCoy to keep it a little bit outside off. The field is packed there, but pulling a little full and tucked away nicely as Dequella played him for a single.
Dequella is on 25, Nasanka is on 11. He faces McCoy, comes in on both stream. He's driving beautifully, past mid off, down to the boundary for 4. Hits the Sanders sign now. Pitch up delivery, and he just leaned into it. Score goes up to 46 for 1. He goes to 50, and this run rate is 7.08. Dequella is 25 off 22, and Nasanka is 15 off 11.
That was a lovely shot. That was a beautiful shot. He leaned into it, just drove at it, and didn't move. He knew it went all the way when he struck it, and nicely played there by Nasanka.
McCoy will have to get his radar going right. He comes in both. The bowls to Nasanka. Pitch up again. Good length delivery. And the sneaker single. Simmons coming around there from point. Can't stop it. Just lobs the ball to Chris Gale. Went over number 7. 47 for 1. 47 for 1. The West Indies won the toss. Captain Karen Pollard. And decided that he was going to bowl first here in this historic game. A proud day for Cricket West Indies and a proud day for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And you'd want to be able to get that Darwin right into that slot area there. Consistently.
Yeah. Well, it was a volley, and he played it so beautifully. Lovely shot by Nasanka. That previous boundary.
Sorry, Darwin. McCoy is into both to Dequella. He lost his shape there. He was looking for power and didn't go past the captain, Karen Pollard, at cover. He was moving across the stump there, but his right foot didn't come out. He's a left-hander, and he was more or less looking to freeze arms, but that didn't happen. So good dot ball here. 7 runs off the over so far, the McCoy over. Run rate 6.88, 47 for 1. Sri Lanka being inserted by the West Indies captain Karen Pollard. And McCoy in his first over, bongs away from the CIUN, comes in now to bowl to Dequella. He's back and he misses that delivery completely. Good length, good comeback. So over number 7 completed. The latest score here at the Coolidge Grounds in the first international, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka have 47 for 1. Dequella is 25, Nasanka is 16.
Yeah, that one didn't come up enough. I thought the batsman was a bit disappointed at the height of that delivery. Was expecting it to be bounced a little more. and that would be of some concern, as maybe the pitch is not playing as true as it should. But the shot was on. The ball just wasn't there as it dipped and went straight back. As we see Skipper Pollard making another change, moving his bowlers around, trying to get Sinclair to finish. Sinclair's averaging 6.5 and over, and he's going to be bowling to Nisanka, who played that lovely shot of McCoy in the previous over. I think Dekwala looks like he wants to play all the shots in the world, and Nisanka looks like the classical nice flowing stroke player.
I like how you said that, Darwin. He wants to play all the shots in the world. Pretty interesting. Sinclair, we've already seen celebration from Kevin Sinclair. The folks in Ghana, they'll be smiling. 47 for 1. We're into number 8. Sinclair comes from the media center and bowls a link delivery. It more or less just cramps him up. I say good evening to Darwin, who will be back, and Vincey Boyne will be coming in. Sinclair, age 21, very huge investment for West Indies cricket. He's got a bright future ahead of him. 1 to 13 is in his turnover. Here's Nisanka just clipping that one between Fabian Allen and Jason Holder down to the boundary for 4. And once he got into the practice areas, it was always going to be trouble. Good evening, Vincey. 50 comes up for Sri Lanka, 51 for 1.
Yes, so far good going by the Sri Lankans, and I must also say congratulations to Kevin Sinclair for making his debut today for the West Indies. Throughout the 50-over tournament, we kept talking about this young man and him being one for the future. Well, it seems as if the future is now.
Certainly. He comes in now to bowl to Nisanka. Nisanka is clobbering this one over mid-wicket. It's gone. A big one, a CG Insurance. First hit for Sri Lanka team here, and he would know that he got to be able to just pull his length back, Vincey.
Yes, and probably the Sri Lankan strategists probably figured, hey, this is the new kid on the block. This is one player that we can go after, and they started to attack him, and they're getting some rewards so far.
6 fours and 1 6 so far in this innings for Sri Lanka. And the score quietly goes up to 57 for 1. 57 for 1. He wears the number 77. Kevin Sinclair on debut for the West Indies. Comes in now to bowl to Nisanka, the right hand, who clips it out very easily to Fabian Allen, to the mid-wicket area. And the score goes up to 58 for 1. Win to over number 8. Encouragement coming from Nicholas Poran, telling him, just relax, keep going. 1 for 24 so far. It's been pretty expensive. But on debut, you have a little bit of nerves. 11 runs off the offer so far, 4 deliveries bowled, 58 for 1.
Not only is it his debut, but remember it's also 2020 cricket, so the batsmen are going to chance their hand.
He comes around the wicket now to bowl to Dekwela. Dekwela is coming down the wicket. When he gets there, he just checks it shot and plays it down to long on. Bravo comes off the boundary. The score goes up to 59 for 1. Almost for a time, thought that Dekwela was not coming off of 25. He's on 26 from 25 deliveries. The run rate 7.53.
Yes, and they're certainly picking up the score rate anyway.
Nisanka, the right-hander, now waits for Sinclair. He's back and just clipping this out to, again, Fabian Allen. Comes around quickly at the short mid-good era. Over completed, over number 8 completed. Sri Lanka 60 for 1, 60 for 1. 12 runs coming off the over. Sinclair's 3 has now cost 26 runs. He's got 1 wicket to match up for it. Vincey.
Yes, he's been the only wicket taker, but as I said, him being the the debutant, the Sri Lankans also recognize that they have to speed up the scoring rate. They figured that he's a good player to attack. His experience level and everything might not necessarily cause them any concern. So a good player to attack, and therefore they were able to do so successfully in this over, netting 12 runs, and I'm sure they're going to continue to look to press on with the scoring rate, because this is a small ground. Certainly at the scoring rate that they're going presently, it's not going to be much of a challenge.
McCoy is into his 7th over. Nisanka just driving down to mid-off. Bravo goes down into the long barrier position. The score quietly sneaks up very easily. 61 for 1. The West Indies ranked number 10 in the world, but that can change in a jiffy. Kevin Sinclair 3-0, 26-1. Fidel Edwards 2-0, 12-0. Jason Holder 2-0, 14-0. And McCoy is into his 2nd over so far. We wait for a little while as Obed McCoy with a little bit of variety. He comes in now to bowl to the Quellas into the left hander. Shorten is cracking that. And Sinclair should have done a lot better with that, but I don't think he was sure about it, so he just decided he would have had to come up with a spectacular dive, and he's apologizing. It looked close from here, but it got down to him a lot quicker than he might have expected.
I think what happened there is that he wasn't sure if the ball was going to come all the way to him. If he had committed to a catch, he would have taken that easily.
So, little nerves, he's got to work on that. He's getting encouragement for that. 62 for 1. The Quella goes to 27, the Sanka 29. McCoy comes in now to bowl to him. He's driving at a loose delivery. No feet movement, but McCoy got away with that. It was inside the range area there. Nasanka, as you would normally say, you know, throwing the bat at that one here. Hands and eye coordination. Missed it completely. 2 singles off. 3 deliveries so far. 62 for 1. Went over number 9.
Yes, the batsman there saw the extra cover position quite vacant and wanted to exploit it, but never connected with that delivery. But certainly thinking that he should pick up the rate, and he was looking for his runs. Unfortunately for him, he didn't get a contact onto it. Unfortunately for the bowler, he didn't get an edge.
That is true. Good take by Nicholas Puran. 62 for 1. Nasanka on 29 from 19. He's a busy looking player, and he looks organized. As Obed McCoy glides away, comes in out to bowl to Nasanka down the onside. The umpire will get his hands out, and he signals a wide. So score goes up to 63 for 1. You'll have to go and reload and bowl that again.
Yes, certainly looked like he was trying to bowl a slower delivery there, but he got the radar wrong, so it went down the leg side. However, if he, you could certainly see also that he kind of froze the batsman into playing his stroke, and if he was able to get that properly on line, he probably would have been able to knock it around into the onside.
Didn't complete his action there, Obed McCoy.
Yes.
Glides away, comes in now to bowl to Nasanka, into both him. That's a good delivery. Just tickles this one onto the onside, down to long on, and Evan Lewis shot it off very quickly. Closed it down, made sure that there was no extra run. 64 for 1. 64 for 1. We into over number 9.
Yes, it's important.
Sorry.
Yes, it's important that the fielders also back up their bowlers, because for a small field, you want to limit as many runs as you can in this field, in this outfield, because you don't want to give the batsmen that comfort that they can start to play shots out there.
6 4s and 1 6 so far in the Sri Lankan innings. 18 singles. McCoy comes in the bowl to the Quella. The Quella is hoisting that over mid-wicket, and it's gone all the way for 6. Second 6 for the Sri Lankan innings. It was in the slot, and once he got into the slot, McCoy is going to have to get his length right here. He didn't miss his length and was clipped away beautifully by the Quella over mid-wicket, and the score shots up very quickly. Can't bowl there. You've got to be able to adjust that length, but it's a new day. It's a whole learning process. As Vinci said, it's T20 cricket.
Yes,
so
it's T20.
we got to be able to make sure that we, get the lengths sorted out. West Indies will be a little nervous,
yes,
but that's good.
The timing on that shot was very good also. He didn't overswing. He just got up to the pitch of it and just clipped it, and the timing took it all away. As you can see, the captain has now made an adjustment. Started taking out of his mind the thought of playing that shot.
70 for 1. Here's the Quella deciding to try a reverse scoop with his right hand. Missed it completely. Puran took a good take there. End of over number 9. He might have been better off standing up, Vinci, and looking to hit that over cover.
Certainly.
But he remains on 33 and Nasanka on 30.
Well, what tripped him up on that shot, it was a slow bouncer also. So it didn't even give him the pace for him to execute the shot. And as you see, the ball looped up, and him trying to play the shot, realized that he basically was following the arc of the ball with his bat. Did not get any contact, and so very good final delivery there by Obed McCoy to complete the over. But the Sri Lankans are certainly picking up the pace. They're looking to put a big total on the board. And I mean, with the powerful line and batting lineup that the West Indies team has out there, they certainly would want to put a big score on the board, because you have 2 batsmen who are just coming out of a 50-over tournament in very good form.
50-run partnership of 37 balls. Holder comes back into the attack right now, and his first delivery to Nasanka, he missed it completely. It was a slow cutter, and he really didn't have the pace on it, but the length was important at that point in time. 50-run partnership between the Quella and Nasanka. 50 runs off 38 balls, a run rate 7.64, and the West Indies ODI captain white ball captain comes up and speaks to Jason Holder, and he's contented. He says, I like the feel, Kyron Pollard, so that's the good length. So encouragement happening here. Jason Holder from the media center end glides away beautifully. He's in now to Bolton Asanko. Slow delivery there. That's a good one. And the Lanka guest was completely deceived him. He was looking to charge it down there, put a effort ball into that one. 9.2 overs bowled so far, 71 for 1.
Yes, a very full length delivery, just about the line of the crease there, and the batsman advancing could not get anything on it because it was wide of him, so he couldn't get his bat on it. Very good delivery because that ball is also work in the favor of the West Indies team.
Holders look good so far. Moves away from the media center and he comes in now to Bolton Asanko. Ken, good length this time is right there. He's bowling that fourth stump line, and he really effort delivery there from him. Nasanko is kind of having a little problem. One of the things I feel is happening, Vince, is that his left foot is not coming out to the pitch of the ball because he's thinking that Holder's height is going to be looking to bowl him short, but Holder is gone right up Yorker length, just that round about that fourth stump line. And some 8 dot balls so far in a spell, 14 runs. Here, short delivery and a slow bumper, and he took his eyes off of that. He was swinging for the houses, missed it completely. It was so slow, and the coaching staff for Sri Lanka was like, how can you miss that?
Well, they seem very perplexed. But again, it's good bowling because what happened, he had bowled those 2 full-length Yorker length deliveries that handcuffed him, and then he was looking for something similar. Out comes the shot, the slow bouncer, and he wasn't adjusted for that particular delivery.
Holder comes up to Bolton Asanko, right up there again, pitched up. There was a peel for a leg before, but he got an inside edge onto it. Down to McCoy, and this has been a real good over so far. At the end of my spell, it will be the voice of Garfield Burford. We're into the 10th over, 9.5 delivery so far, 71 for 1. 1 delivery so far. This has been an impressive over by Jason Holder. He's really bowled well and he's pulled everything right back.
Yes, this over has been a very good over, and the batsman has not been able to adjust properly to him. He's certainly had the better of the batsman so far, the Nisanka, in this over. Let's see what will happen to Dikwela, because now there's a changeover. Left arm batsman who is taking strike. We see that Holder is now adjusting his field. Guess he's probably looking again for that full length Yorker length delivery.
Dikwela, the left-hander, waits for Holder. Comes in now to bowl to him. Pitch right. Bowl him! He played right across the line of the delivery. It was a slow one into the area, and Holder has struck for the West Indies. He goes down and he has his own celebration. He looks as if he never practiced that one, but he just decided to just go down there. So over number 10 comes to a close here. 71 for 2. More comments from you, Vinci. That hit the off stump, and Dikwela is very disappointed in the way he got out. Holder will be looking to the heavens and saying, thank God I got a wicket and I got the breakthrough for the West Indies. Dikwela goes for 33. Bowled by Holder of 29 deliveries. The run rate is 7.10. More comments from you, Vinci, and there will be the voice of Garfield Bufford.
Yes, that's the completion of a very good over there by Jason Holder, which culminated in success in terms of a wicket for him. As I predicted, he was probably looking for that full length delivery. He didn't get it quite as a Yorker. It was more of a full toss, but it was a slow full toss. The batsman was completely deceived, played too early around the delivery, and was ended up just exposing his middle stump and was bowled. Very good over there by Jason Holder, and also a very good wicket.
Dennis Chandimal is the new batsman coming to the crease. He'll be joining Nisanka. So Patham Nisanka, who is the other batsman there, he's on 31 of 25. Dennis Chandimal comes to the crease now, and he'll be, of course, looking to pick things up. 71 for 2. Dennis Chandimal has a strike rate of 104, 450s, no hundreds in his T20 career. 48 matches so far, an average of 19. So he'll be looking to pick things up, Dennis Chandimal. He's a better player than that at this level, and so he wants to give a better account of himself. Dennis Chandimal now and Patham Nisanka at the crease. As we look back at that delivery, brilliant delivery from Jason Holder. Slower ball. He really had the measure of the batsman earlier, and so this is the cricket is back. International cricket is back in the Caribbean. So it's a new over now started, as here comes a new over by Dwayne Bravo coming into the attack, and that one a slower delivery, missing and swinging and missing was Patham Nisanka. He remains on 31, and of course the doyen of the slower delivery is Dwayne Bravo, because that one was one of those kind of deliveries. Back to you, Vinci.
Yes, a slow delivery to start, and we see the DJ Bravo. Some of you know him from music fame, so I say DJ Bravo is back with his guile and mixture of deliveries.
This one is stroked into the offside to point, can't score. Lendl Simmons doing the fielding at point. The score remains 71 for 2. We're in over number 11. Nisanka has to remain on 31. Just a few factoids for you. Chris Gale last played a T20 International in March 2019. The West Indies have since played 18 matches since that time. And Sri Lanka, by the way, in terms of them, they won 6 of their first 7 T20Is against the West Indies. Well, they've lost each of the 4 last meetings since. Here comes Dwayne Bravo. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one slower delivery again, looking to swing that one down to long on or over long on. Nisanka missing. They've really not gotten the measure of these slower balls, have they, Vince? Because certainly we saw a lot in the over before from Jason Holder, which culminated in the wicket of Dikwela. And now the other batsman, Nisanka, really not getting the measure of these slower deliveries from DJ Bravo.
Well, of the 3 deliveries, he's bowled 2 slow deliveries, but they're 2 slow deliveries that have been different. One was looping and dipping at a Yorker length, the other one was slow on a length.
This one is driven through, well, it goes through a third man for 4, getting a thick outside edge on that one, and the ball just rushed through the gap to third man for 4. So Nisanka, he'll take them as they come. He rushes on now to 35 and the score 75 for 2. Didn't quite get that delivery as much as it wanted, but the result was efficacious.
Yes, he a bit airy, bit chancy, but again, in 2020 cricket, batsmen do not worry about what's chancy, what's airy. They only worry about the results.
Runs are the results are needed. Here comes DJ Bravo. He's up to the wicket, bowls, and this one is driven back along the pitch, fielded by Dwayne Bravo off his follow through. There is no run. So this over does 4 runs from it so far. 1 ball left in his first over. He's none for 4 so far, Dwayne Bravo. 10.5 overs bowled. Pathum Nisanka, he has 4 fours in his innings so far. 35 from 30 deliveries. 14 dot balls in that innings. Pathum Nisanka would want to press on, would want to change gears here, up the ante. By the way, West Indies have won 5 and lost 7 of their T20s against with Karen Pollard as captain. This one is driven into the covers. It will run very close to the boundary. Good fielding down there on the cover boundary. And in fact, there's a run-out appeal here. This will be sent upstairs. Well, actually, no. It's actually in. So 2 runs as that one. Very good fielding by Fabian Allen on the cover boundary there. 77 for 2 the score after 11. So Chandimal, 37. 2 more runs for Nisanka. He's on 37. Chandimal yet to face a delivery. And 77 for 2 after 11 overs.
Yes, and just to finish up that over, extremely good fielding there by the fielder Fabian Allen, running around about maybe 20 meters or so to field that delivery, saving 4 runs first, and then the throw was excellent. If the batsman was short of his ground, he would certainly have been run out. So very, very good fielding there by Fabian Allen, and he's been very good in the outfield for the most part in the outfield, and so the West Indies team would be buoyed by his effort out there, and I'm sure that Jason Holder, having just completed a very good 3rd over in his spell, will be looking to finish up his spell in a very, very strong way. Let's see if he would be able to continue the progress and the success that he had in the last over.
So his last over coming up, 1 for 15 off 3 overs so far. So his last over coming up, and his economy 5. They're scoring at 7 runs and over exactly. 77 for 2 from 11. The batsmen who have been dismissed so far: Niroshan Dikwela, bowled by a Holder, and Danushka Gunathalika caught Pollard brilliantly. That one is just guided down to our 3rd man. 1 run for Chandimal. He's off the mark. The score now 78 for 2. Chandimal on 1. Nisanka comes back in strike. He's on 37. As I said, the Danushka Gunathalika, he was caught by Pollard brilliantly at mid-wicket for 4, facing 6 deliveries. Niroshan Dikwela, 33 of 29, 3 fours and a 6 in that before he really lost his shape and lost his off stump, castled by Jason Holder, who tried pretty much some something of a celebration. Didn't quite work out. It didn't seem that he planned it properly, Jason Holder. Let's see if he plans it properly, if he gets another wicket. He starts again from the southern end, starts to move in to bowl to Nisanka. He's up to the wicket and bowls, full delivery, and it squeezes past point. Should have done better there at point, looking for the fielder there who seems to be, who is Evan Lewis, who that ball just went straight through him. 1 run down to the deep cover. They get 1 run as that ball has ran around the point. Evan Lewis should have done better on that one, just diving over the ball. So 1 more to the score. The score now is 79 for 2. Chandimal comes back on strike. Dennis Chandimal. He's only facing up to Jason Holder, who's in his last over, 1 for 17 so far. He starts from the southern end. He's up to the wicket, bowls in this one, slower delivery. This time it's fielded well by Evan Lewis at backward point. They can't score. 79 for 2. We're in over number 12, and so far the bowlers have been able to contain the batsmen. They're really looking to go on the go, but the bowlers have been doing well, Vincey.
Yes, so far I'm pretty much impressed with Jason Holder's bowling in this second spell, coming back from the southern end. His second over, he has been limiting them to singles and dot balls, so very good bowling so far. Two
deliveries. He's hit the batsman looking to for the pull shot. Chandimal, they get a quick single. Let's see what the umpire's signal will be. Leg by signaled by the umpire. That ball that's looking a slower delivery. It reached. He was through the shot long before the ball reached through to him. They actually got a leg by as the ball just squirted on the offside. The score moves up by 1, 80 for 2. We're in over number 12.
Yes, slow bounce at the batsman threw the shot very early, and that ball just came off of his back, I think, and just trickled out into the offside. They were able to get a leg break, but again, good bowling there by Jason Holder, just mixing it up nicely.
Jason Holder bowls again, and this one is hit in the air on the onside. There will be 1 run as Lendl Simmons comes off the deep mid-wicket boundary to field. There is 1 more, 81 for 2. The score goes up to 81 for 2. We're in over number 12. Nisanka moves up to 39. Chandimal and 1 comes back on strike. Let's tell you another factoid. Sri Lanka have not won a match in a year. They've lost 6 games in that time, 4 tests, 2 each to South Africa and England, and 2 T20 internationals against West Indies in March 2020. Haven't won a match in a year. West Indies have won 5 and lost 7 of their T20s under Kieron Pollard. This one, another slow delivery, punched off the back foot down to deep cover. They get 1 as they'll have to be content with that 1. So Chandimal moves up by 1. The score now 82 for 2. 82 for 2. Chandimal goes up to 2. Nisanka is on 39. That's the end of over number 12. The 4 overs completed. So Jason Holder completes his quota, 1 for 19 off 4 overs. The last over that's conceding 4 or 5 runs in that one. Jason Holder, brilliant performance by him. Certainly he's been able to mix things up. Variations with pace really got to the batsman, and he got his wicket through one of those variations in pace. His 4 overs just costing 19 runs.
Yes, and you see the value of the slower deliveries, mixing up those deliveries. What it does, it messes with the batsman's rhythm. And so what happens, the slower deliveries, if it is coming onto the bat, he's going to play with a particular rhythm. When it's slowed up, he has to delay shot. He has to make his own power. And so what happens is that it really confuses the batsman, making run scoring, or I should say boundaries, very difficult for them.
It's going to be Fabian Allen now coming into the attack. Fabian Allen to be introduced into the attack from the northern end. Here comes the left-hand spinner, and this one is driven over the bowler's head. There's a chase around here for the long-on fielder. He comes around to field it, coming back for the second run. They'll have to turn back as there is the throw came in, and Fabian Allen didn't quite collect it cleanly, but obviously that would have been a suicidal second run had they attempted it. Batsmen confer in mid-pitch, and they deliberate on the fact that that would have been suicide. As it was, they've escaped a bullet, dodged a bullet by sticking to 1 run, Vincey.
Oh yes, had they attempted the second run, they would have probably been in a lot of trouble.
Here comes this one is stumped. So Fabian Allen gets his first wicket from his second ball. Nisanka, and a little bit of a dance and a little bit of a jig there, his celebration. Nisanka goes for 39 of 34, looking to use his feet. He actually walked past the delivery, and an easy stumping for the wicket-keeper Nicholas Pradhan. The third wicket goes 83 for 3 in over number 13. Nisanka goes for 39.
Yes, I think what deceived the batsman there was the drift from the bowler. The bowler coming around the wicket, batsman dancing down the pitch, was fooled by the drift. As the ball pitched, it left him a bit. and the keeper effected a very good stumping. But we see that the West Indies team tonight are full of a variety of celebrations, which brings a lot of flavor and value to the game. You know, T20 cricket is supposed to be exciting, supposed to be fun-loving, and so the players are certainly enjoying their moments. Jason Holder doesn't seem like he had rehearsed his celebration before, so he just came up with something on the spot and just did that mini Kevin Sinclair celebration. He realized that he cannot he cannot do the
he didn't have the flexibility quite
the acrobatics that Kevin Sinclair has.
And not only that, as Angela Matthews, the captain, comes to the crease, he's taking his guard now. As not only that, but Jason Holder didn't get another wicket to do it again a second time. So
that was painful to look at, though.
Well, hopefully he didn't. Of course, he didn't injure himself. So 1 for 19. Angela Matthews with 5 50s in this format. He's facing up to Fabian Allen, and this one is just stroked, almost a flat batted, slapped shot down to long off. So Angela Matthews is off the mark, and a few drops of rain coming here at Coolidge Cricket Grounds. So let's hope that it's not going to be long lasting. Let's hope that it's going to be just a passing drizzle. So the umpires are looking on. The ground staff are getting ready, but they're not overly concerned yet. Here comes this delivery, stroked into the offside. The sweeper on the cover boundary comes off the field. Jason Holder fields on the cover boundary. There is 1 run. So 1 run to Chandimal. He moves up to 4. Matthews on 1 comes back into strike. It does appear that it has eased up just a little bit. It has gotten a little bit less intense, the drizzle here. So a little bit of a faint drizzle now. Here comes Fabian Allen. He's up to the wicket, bowls, and this one is stroked into the covers. Can't score. Lendl Simmons does the fielding at that extra cover. The score remains 85 for 3. 85 for 3. 1 ball left in over number 13. 1 for 3 so far for Fabian Allen. He's kept things started, and he's got a wicket with his second delivery. He starts again. He's up to the wicket, bowls, and this one is forward. They're looking to stop the single. Can't stop it. Lendl Simmons rushes around to his right from extra cover to field. 1 more run to Angela Matthews, the captain. He's on 2. 86 for 3, and it does appear that the persistent drizzle here, let's hope that it's not going to be long lasting. The good sign, though, Vincey, after 13 overs, 86 for 3, that the ground staff are not getting overly antsy at this point.
Well, no. Earlier, just before the game started, actually, there was a similar drizzle before the game. It wasn't a heavy shower. It just passed, flew over, and by the time they decided to bring on the covers, the shower decided, okay, it's time for me to stop. The showers were taken off, and I think the lookout person might be also observing what's going on. But it seems as if it's getting a little heavier. We may see some activity from the groundsmen. Yes, the umpires have called them on, so it has gotten a bit heavier.
Yes, and we can hear it on the roof here.
Yeah, taking some precautions. Don't want the outfield or the pitch area, the playing surface, to get too wet, just to ensure the conditions and to ensure that the field does not get compromised with a heavy shower.
Indeed. So 13 overs. That's the break here we've taken for rain. So a rain delay here. Hopefully it's a passing shower. It seems to have lessened us a bit just by the sound on the roof here of our commentary position. 13 overs, 86 for 3. Chandimal on 4. Matthews on 2. 86 for 3. Of course, the Sri Lankans were put into bat by Karen Pollard, who won the toss early. Let's give you a quick recap of how things have gone so far. Nirashan Dikwala bowled by a Holder for 33, facing 29 deliveries, 3 4s and a 6. Danushka Gunathalika, he was caught by Pollard brilliantly at mid-wicket, diving away to his right, taking a blinder, a two-handed catch, bowled Sinclair. So Sinclair's first wicket, and his celebration was one to die for. 2 flips and an acrobatic gymnastic display by Kevin Sinclair, pretty much continuing what he did
Olympic
in the CG.
trial.
Absolutely, continuing what he did in the CG Insurance Super 50 competition for the Ghana Jaguars. Also, the third batsman to have been dismissed, Pathum Nisanka. He was stumped by Nicholas Puran of the bowling of Allen. The second delivery by Fabian Allen, taking the wicket of Pathum Nisanka. He just essentially danced past the wicket and essentially gave an opportunity for Fabian Allen to dance for the celebration of his first wicket in this match. So 86 for 3. Dinesh Chandimal on 4, facing 6 deliveries and no 4s yet. Angela Matthews just facing 3 deliveries for his 2 so far. At this point, 86 for 3, scoring a shade under a 7 and over at this point. Last time the run rate was about 6.73. 6 bowlers have been used so far by the West Indies. Kevin Sinclair, 3 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 1 wicket. Fidel Edwards, 2 overs, no maidens, 12 runs, no wickets. Jason Holder, 4 overs, he's bowled out, 19 runs for a wicket. Obed McCoy, 2 overs, no maidens, 17 runs, no wickets. He's been expensive, the most expensive bowler so far. Well, actually, he and Kevin Sinclair have been quite expensive, over 8.5 per over. Kevin Sinclair, his economy of 8.66. Obed McCoy, his economy of 8.5. Dwayne Bravo, 1 over for 6 runs, and Fabian Allen, 1 over, 4 runs, 1 wicket, no maidens in that. So the 6 bowlers used so far by the West Indies, and they're mixing things up here. 13 overs going, 86 for 3, 4 extras in that total so far. The batsmen, the fall of wickets, 20 for 1 when Dinesh Gunathalika went, 71 for 2 when Nirashan Dikwala went, and 83 for 3 when Pathum Nisanka went stumped off the bowling of Fabian Allen. That's it for, that's how things have progressed so far. The rain, pretty much a hard drizzle at this point, not so much a heavy shower, thankfully. Hopefully it's a passing shower. The clouds have not looked, we can't see much of the clouds outside because darkness has fallen and have set in. The lights are set in here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. We should say making its debut, its international debut, because of course it's for the first time that international cricket is being played here at the home of West Indies cricket, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds in Coolidge, Antigua. After a short word from our sponsor, you'll be back to hear from Vernon Springer joining Vincey Bowen.
Is Middle Stop on Vibes Radio, the champion station.
Regents Hotel welcomes you for an unforgettable stay in Dominica. Come taste the traditional dishes of Dominica in our gourmet restaurant. Enjoy a tour of the island. Take a dip in the hot springs, a scenic horseback ride, or water sports for the adventurous. Make your reservations today. Call 767-275-3539 or 767-615-6221 or email info@regents.com.
At only 45 minutes from the capital, Regents Hotel welcomes you to Portsmouth with 20 suites to make for an unforgettable stay in Dominica. Whether you're with friends or family, everything is done to make you feel like you're at home. Come taste the traditional dishes of Dominica in our gourmet restaurant. Enjoy a tour of the island and take a dip in the hot springs. Take an idyllic horseback ride or water sports for the adventurous. Visit Dominica and stay at the Regents Hotel. Make your reservations today, 767-275-3539.
Is Middle Stop on Vibes Radio, the champion station.
Welcome back at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, where rain has stopped play between the West Indies and Sri Lanka. And I'm next to Vincey Bowen. Vincey, when we look at the West Indies lineup, you give me your thoughts. I know we really didn't have a chance to kind of go through the lineup itself, but when you look at the West Indies squad today, you were talking easily of a number of IPL players who are on the scene, who are going to play in the IPL in 2021. Nicholas Puran, Kyron Pollard, Jason Holder, Dwayne Bravo, Fabian Allen, and Chris Gale. You like the mix of the team so far?
Well, the team certainly has a very powerful batting lineup, and when we look at players like obviously Chris Gale, self-proclaimed universal boss, his record speaks for itself. He has probably the most T20 centuries. Then you have Lendl Simmons, who in the finals of the CG 50 over Super 50 tournament really put on a batting display. And then you have also Evan Lewis, who has even a better strike rate in T20 internationals than Chris Gale. So just those three players alone represent quite a strong power base in the batting. Then you add to that Nicholas Puran, you have Kieran Pollard, very, very deep in the batting. So they certainly want to ensure that they have a good batting foundation. But in addition to that, they decided to add a bit of pace in Fidel Edwards. Obed McCoy, up-and-coming young fast bowler. Sinclair, I think, deserved looking, and he had his debut. He got his first wicket, but the Sri Lanka batsmen, attempted to go after him, and they were successful. So, nice balance, I would say. Left arm, right arm bowlers, a couple of fast bowlers, and some experience in the mix.
You'd also know that Glendale Simmons scored the most runs in the Caribbean Premier League 2020, which was played behind closed doors in Trinidad and Tobago, 256 runs. Still have Andrew Russell to add to this T20 lineup?
Possibly, once he can maintain his fitness. I'm not one for adding someone just for star power. I would like to see that he can maintain his fitness throughout the tournament, because that always becomes a concern, and it also becomes a sideshow to the team. You don't want that with your team if you want to have a successful tournament where you're wondering if a player is going to play today or if he's going to play tomorrow,
Well, the big word is that Chris Gayle has already sent the world a message, and he said he's won his third T20 title. So I could see Narayan and Russell coming around and getting themselves organized. Narayan and Russell are also going to the IPL. So you know that all of the eyes are going to be on the West Indian players, because West Indies is going to be dangerous in the T20. Once they have their full squad and everybody is wearing fit and ready to go, I think they're going to be very hard to beat.
Once they have their full squad and they're performing, because it's good to have a full squad or a powerful squad, but if the players are not performing, then that's a different thing. But again, these players are very experienced, playing against the highest level of competition in the IPL and other T20 leagues around the world, and I believe that they're going to raise themselves to the occasion and play very, very competitive cricket throughout any world T20 competition that comes on board. Those players will certainly challenge for a title, as long as they can get past the qualification requirements.
Well, folks, we are the defending champions, and we have to let the world know that. Cricket West Indies are the T20 World Cup champions. And if you're wondering what's happening, we have a little rain delay here. The umpires are just waiting for the clearance, where we could be able to get an idea so they can give the groundsmen the okay to be able to start getting the covers off. It's a stop, really. It's got a lovely, it's a still breeze here at Coolidge Ground. And today was just a touching ceremony, Vincey, when we heard the national anthem of Antigua and Barbuda, Sri Lanka, and Cricket West Indies. It's a historic day here at the Coolidge Ground. Head groundsman is just waiting, the umpires having a discussion. And I think that they look like they're going to move off the covers from the main square first. They're trying to organize and get everybody. This must be a challenge, Vincey, having the watchman looking over to find out if the rain is going to be coming around or it's not going to be coming around.
Yes, it's certainly difficult at times, because I think tonight is the moon is out, so they'll be able to see better if there are any clouds. But again, it's still a challenge to determine which ones are the rain clouds and what threat it poses at any specific time.
Well, they've been given the green light. And so Ken Crafton, the Cricket West Indies head curator, along with the groundsmen here at the Coolidge Ground, they have started an operation to be able to get on with the game, and it's been exciting. 6 bowlers used so far, Vincey, by the West Indies bowling attack. Good balance, and Pollard is still maybe not even coming to bowl a couple of yet.
Well, he hasn't come into bowl, but I think the team also was selected with some balance. Fidel Edwards for pace, Jason Holder bringing his experience and his guile to the attack. Obed McCoy, the young and upcoming fast bowler, the left-arm fast bowler, giving some variety as a left-arm bowler, but also he also mixes it up well. And then you had Dwayne Bravo, who bowled his one over again, deceiving the batsman with his off-cutters, his slow deliveries, and so forth. Then you have the 2 spinners, the right-arm off-spinner and Fabian Allen, the left-arm orthodox. So yes, quite a good balance in terms of the bowling. Sometimes I still want to see a bit more firepower in the fast bowling department. Sometimes it's nice to have 2, but in your armory. But again, they decided or elected to go with 1 in the name of Fidel Edwards.
Well, let's look at Sri Lanka, because I like the look of Patham Nasanka. He didn't look bad at all. I think he just got frustrated in the end and, just gave his wicket away. But had he just stayed out there, he just got frustrated that he wasn't scoring. But he received a pat on the back when he got into the dressing room to tell him, good effort, big try. But Diquella, he was threatening to be able to take on the West Indies attack.
There were threats at time, but again, the bowlers sort of handcuffed them with their slow deliveries, mixing up their pace, and that is what kind of took them off of their rhythm. And so they weren't able to press on with the scoring as they would have liked to.
Now, let's look at the West Indies bowling attack so far. The figures, in case you've just joined us, rain and stop play here. It's stopped now. The umpires are out onto the square. They're just checking to make sure everything is okay. And I would feel that maybe in about 5 minutes' time, we will have play back happening quickly. But the West Indies bowling attack would see Kevin Sinclair on debut. Let's repeat. Kevin Sinclair, 21 years old, from Guyana, on debut. 3 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 1 wicket. Fidel Edwards, a return in West Indian colours. He had an real interesting, fiery CPL 2020. He bowled with real pace. And I was saying to you off here, Vincey, that if I was O'Shane Thomas, I would be training with Fidel Edwards every day. I'd be asking him, what are you doing? Why do you look like this? I'd be picking his brain, because I would be saying, you got to tell me your secret.
Well, O'Shane is from the land of sprinters. Why not train with Usain and Asafa Powell?
I don't think he will survive.
And Johan Blake. Hey, I think he would survive, but I think the training would be very valuable.
So, Fidel Edwards, 2 knot, 12 knot. Jason Holder, he bowled beautifully, Vincey. 4 knot, 19-1, and he had 10 dot balls to complement that. I think he has to work on his own celebration. He had a roll today. So yes, he's going to have to go on mastermind to be able to get a celebration going, but he bowled beautifully. And he had good control. And what I think happened for Jason Holder today is that he varied his lengths. And the third over was a very, very, very impressive over. That was a comeback over for the West Indies team. And he frustrated Nasanko, because he really couldn't deal with that. And that sort of frustrated him. So Holder so far has ended 4 knot, 91, economy rate of 4.75 with 10 dot balls. Obed McCoy, a little bit rusty.
Well, just to give a bit of comment on that spell by Jason Holder. I think those final 2 overs by Jason Holder also resulted in 2 wickets for the West Indies. Yes, one of them was Jason, and the other wicket went to Fabian Allen. But I think what he did in those 2 overs helped the West Indies to have success with those 2 wickets.
So you're talking about the pressure,
yes,
built by Jason Holder. Commendable. Obed McCoy, 2 knots, 17 knots. He's been expensive from his 2. A little rusty for the young man, but that's okay. Dwayne Bravo, the experienced Dwayne Bravo, age 37, still learning his craft. He's mastered his craft. Got some 57 wickets at this level. 1 knot, 6 knots, still got so much variation. And Fabian Allen, 1 knot, 4-1. He'll be very excited. He's been very busy in the field. He's looked like a real live wire for the West Indies.
Oh yes, he's been into the game and he's been feeling well, and he came on board his first over, got a wicket in his first over, only conceding 4 runs, and in T20 international context, that's a very good over.
And folks, if you're wondering about the West Indies CG T20 squad, and it reads as follows, so you have an idea: Kyron Pollard, captain; Lendell Simmons, Ravman Powell, Andrew Fletcher, Nicholas Puran, the wicketkeeper; Jason Holder, Evan Lewis, Dwayne Bravo, Kevin Sinclair made his debut today, Obed McCoy, Fidel Edwards, Fabian Allen, Akil Hussain, and the universe boss, Chris Gale. And he's already sent a message to the entire world just to let them know that, hey, I want my 3rd T20 title, world title, and he's gunning for that. But he also talked in the media a couple of days ago, Vincey, where he was very, very, very much concerned about what's happening with his home country, Jamaica's cricket. That has been a talking point. There's also been a talking point, Vincey, in Guyana. There's been a major discussion in terms of why Guyana can't get over the line when it comes to major competitions. That's been a major talking point.
Very interesting one. But getting back to the Jamaica situation, we saw them in the CG Super 50 tournament, and throughout the tournament they seemed like quite a disorganized team. Yes, they did make a comeback at the end, but overall the team itself, the whole mixture, the chemistry did not look like an organized team. And it may be, as you said, with Chris Gale's concerns, it may be a reflection of cricket in Jamaica that is probably not very organized, and they need some structure, they need some sort of a game plan, a strategic plan to get things back in order.
Well, as we speak, Vincey, the umpires are coming back out, and in the meantime, Ken Crafton and the standby umpire, along with the folks here from the Coolidge Cricket Ground, they have their 2 tractors and a rope. Normally we see this happening in the IPL, so it's happening right here at Coolidge Cricket Ground. And let me give some major credit to the staff here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, especially the groundsmen and the folks at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. They've done a remarkable and outstanding job. And too many times, Vincy, I think we don't give recognition enough to the folks who make cricket happen. We stay on the sidelines and we curse the umpires and we curse the groundsmen. But without the groundsmen, we can't have any cricket. And these guys have done an excellent job here, at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, and no praises too high for them. So the West Indies team just in a huddle, just outside. I think they're going to clinically want to make sure that they end strong. And the bowling figures very quickly for you, just in case you've just joined us. Rain stop play for a couple of minutes, and Sri Lanka will resume with some 13 overs bowled so far, 13 overs bowled to date. So they will resume their score very quickly in a little while. Some 4 extras, Vincy, in the attack so far. 86 for 3 Sri Lanka after they were sent in by Kyron Pollard, the West Indies white ball captain. And they'll be looking, Vincy. What sort of score? 7 overs to go, Vincy. What do you think they'll be thinking about?
Well, at this rate, they're pretty much just about 130, 135. However, I think for them to be competitive, they need to look up towards the 180 to 200 range if they really want to challenge this West Indian batting lineup.
Well, we see Fidel Edwards warming up. He's bowled 2-0, 12-0, so he will come back after the break, and looks like he will start from the media center end. Sinclair 3-0, 26-1. Fidel Edwards 2-0, 12-0. Jason Holder, beautiful. He had an impressive spell. 4-0, 19-1. Oben McCoy, 2-0, 17-0. Dwayne Bravo, he had 1-0, 6-0. And Fabian Allen, 1-0, 4-1. 86 for 3. We are back in action here. And umpire Gregory Bartlett has given the okay. He now hands the ball to Fidel Edwards, who is really at his age, 39 years old, and is bowling real quick. He's conditioned, he's looked good, he's hired a trainer, he's got him a condition coach, he's really put in the work, and you could see it. And I hope that he could be a real model for young cricketers around. The Anderson Phillip, the Niles Smith, all those guys here. But here, the action is we start back with Angelo Matthews, Sri Lanka captain, waiting for Fidel Edwards. Short delivery, and onto him, and he just climbed onto it and just clicked it out to the deep square leg boundary. Fabian Allen came across nicely, and the score quietly goes up to 87 for 3. 87 for 3. We start over number 14. Matthews, the captain, is on 3, and Chandamala comes into strike. He's on 4. 2 right-handers at the crease here. At this one rate, they'll be expected to score at least 132, Vincy. I want to say good evening to a number of folks around the Caribbean, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. Bridge Prajnat, Andrew Mason in Barbados, Lance Whitaker, nudge me a little note. Good evening again, Lance. So all the folks around the Caribbean, especially Sean Devers in Guyana. 87 for 3, Edwards comes in now to bowl to Shanamal. He's driving beautifully straight. That's gone. That's a huge hit. Over. Long off for 6. Hits the roof now. And it was in the slot. And once he got there, he just check drive. And the small ground. That's a lovely shot. It goes up to 93 for 3. That's a lovely shot, Vincy.
Oh, yes. It looks like Chandimal was waiting for that delivery. He said, oh, wow, right where I want it. And just stepped down to it, eased into the drive, made sure he got his bat under it, and said, hey, hello, goodbye.
It's a lovely, good check drive there by Chandimal. Hit the roof. The only thing just missing, anything into the slot area, they're going to go on this ground. Here comes Fidel Edwards, clean into it, comes in out the ball to Chandimal, back on target, and that beat him for pace. He's trying to get fancy, but it didn't really bounce, so he really couldn't get much onto it to be able to look to crack it down, pointer straight down to third man. Good take by Nicholas Puran, who's keeping tonight. Some 7-4s and 3-6s in the Sri Lankan innings so far, 93 for 3.
Yes, and that one had a bit of pace on it, 141 kilometers kph on it, and it kept low also. So just not only was it quicker, but it also kept low, and so deceived the batsman. It's lucky he didn't get an inside edge onto it.
Edwards gonna bowl to Chandimal. He comes in now to bowl to Chandimal, and Chandimal driving, but he didn't get the full power onto it there. He was deep into his crease, but he didn't get his full extension. But he got a single down to long on, and the score goes to 94 for 3. Holder came around. Holder and Bravo having a discussion now. They may be thinking, what do you think we should tell Fidel?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're telling him to keep bowling it fast, because that ball rushed onto the batsman and he wasn't able to get himself any leverage to get under it, and the ball rushed onto him, playing him more than him playing the ball. Yes, he was playing down the line to play the shot, but the ball rushed onto him and therefore he wasn't able to get it too far off of the square.
Very important. 94 for 3. Sri Lanka captain Angelo Matthews comes into strike and waits for Fidel Edwards. Skinny action, short delivery, pulls it again down. Pollard and Fabian Allen approaching it. Who gets there first? The skipper, the West Indies skipper. That's a little bit off track. His return was not good at all, Vinci. But he got around and he apologized very quickly. He said sorry. He just went to the back of Nicholas Puran. But he's a big man, and to be able to be in the deep and get around there, got some long hands there, picked it up. Thought he was going to leave it for Fabian Allen, but he skipped, maybe just decided to just stretch himself out there.
Yes, I think he was trying for the quick release there to keep the batsman in their crease, and instead of getting the throw online, it went offline a bit, giving the batsman an opportunity for that overthrow.
Matthews is 5, 96 for 3. Fidel Edwards is into his clip, and he just clipped that one beautifully. Now caught! That short flying leg. So Fidel Edwards returning to West Indies duties. Matthews would be very upset with himself, and he should have done a lot better. He just clicked it around. Don't think he saw Lendl Simmons, and Simmons took a comfortable catch right there on the short final area. Matthews is disappointed with himself. The end of over number 14. Wouldn't you be upset, Vinci?
I would be if I was the batsman. All he had to do is play it maybe 5 meters to the left or right, or in above the fielder, and he would have gotten 4 easy runs. And you could see him rehearsing the shot that he should have, tried to flick it up a bit higher, that he would have been in safe grounds. But unfortunately, he flicked it right to the fielder there. Was it Fabian Allen he flicked it to?
No, Simmons.
No, Simmons, right.
Simmons.
He just flicked it right now. Gave him a very, very simple catch. And he will be disappointed as the captain and also the most experienced batsman in this side that he's gone. He would have wanted to bat as long as possible and give his his team a very, very, very good chance in this match.
96 for 4. Thasaro Pereira comes out. He's a left-handed batsman, age 31, high score of 97. He's got 950s at this competition level here, and he's a very dangerous guy, so you've got to be able to, it's not over by a long shot yet. West Indies clinically are going to have to end well. Fidel Edwards 3-0, 122-1 so far, so he's not bad. 350s when you look at his T20 career representing Sri Lanka, 1,201 runs, an average of 24, but he's a dangerous player. And Obed McCoy is going to come back into the attack. Before this, 2-0, 17-0. Here comes Obed McCoy, the left arm seamer, as he comes in out to bowl to Shandamal down the onside, and the umpire gets out his arms, so you'll have to bowl that one again, Vinci. 97 for 4.
Yes, and he's going to have to get it right because Shandamal is looking to hit. You could see his intent from the last over when he hit Fidel Edwards straight back over long off for 6, and Obed McCoy is going to have to get his radar right. He's going to be bowling that ball basically. If he is on line, he's going to be in the hitting zone of Chandimal, and he wants to avoid that area.
McCoy comes with the ball to Shandamal. He's back and scaring it straight through. Jason Holder, that short third man. The West Indies strikes again. And Shandamal pulling away there. He followed him, and he just catching practice to Jason Holder. He's got big hands, and he wasn't going to drop that one. The 5th wicket goes down for Sri Lanka. 97 for 5. Shandamal goes for 11 off 10 deliveries. A little soft dismissal so far from Matthews and Shandamal, and this is what happens after a break, Vinci.
Yes, it happens after a break, but also I think it was very good bowling by McCoy because, as I said, Shandamal is going to be looking for balls in his hitting zone. Obed McCoy shortened that one up, and it also had a bit of pace on him. He was only able, and it was into the body, he was only able to rock back, and he was trying to guide it down to the third man region, only effectively guiding it straight to Jason Holder, fielding there the short third man, giving his hit away, and he would be very disappointed. But again, I think it was good bowling by Obed McCoy, giving the batsman something different to look at than what he was looking for or expected.
Hazaranga comes out now for Sri Lanka. So Hazaranga and Pereira, they both are not. We're into over number 15. And really, when you look at it, Angelo Matthews will feel very, very, very slighted. He would say to himself that he gave his hand away. And Chandamal himself would say, gosh, we just gifted West Indies 2 wickets. But as Vinci said, good bowling. And the West Indies have just upped their feeling. I know Trevor Penny, he's got his notebook out and he'll be thinking about all the misfields that Kevin Sinclair would have recorded today. 97 for 5. Went over number 15. McCoy is going to come in to bowl to Hazaranga. He comes in now to bowl to Hazaranga. Pitch and he's just kneeling that it wasn't quite forward now back. Back of the arm, slow delivery there. Came down to the third man fielder in Jason Holder. Jason Holder is gone from short third man to right back onto the fence. Good comeback delivery there. A little changer there, Vinci. Cutter.
Well, a good delivery to start up. It was like he rolled his fingers over the delivery, slow delivery, and the batsman was already committed to the front foot. You could see him rolling his arm over, and he committed to the front foot. Ball bounced a bit on him, getting the shoulder of the bat. He was lucky to get that away from the keeper.
98 for 5. Pereira, the left-hander, he comes in to strike, and like I said, he's a dangerous guy. I mean, if he gets going, McCoy comes in now to bowl to Pereira. He gets a bumper. He gets onto that very quickly. And he's saying, the next time you bowl that, I will hit you over mid-wicket. They were practicing. And trust me, Vinci, I think a lot of balls were lost today from this afternoon. I got here a little earlier, about 4 o'clock. And they were hitting the balls all over the place. I wanted to know if that's how they warm up. It's almost like baseball style.
Well, that delivery there by McCoy had a bit of effort in it, and it had a bit of pace as it went over the batsman's head. Certainly, he wasn't going to try to hit that one. And again, I also believe he wasn't prepared for that delivery. And sometimes when you mix it up and batsmen are not prepared for the particular delivery, they are handcuffed in terms of playing a shot.
Rain playing cat and mouse with us here. McCoy comes in out to bowl to Pereira, back and just whacks that out to the mid-wicket area. Kyron Pollard, a little bit of rain. The groundsmen are getting into position. Let's hope that this one will maybe just go away. Vinci, strange enough, Vinci, you know, normally when we had the Super 50, we had a lot of breeze. There's not much breeze tonight. It's sort of still. But as you said, the full moon is out. That's what you said, Vinci? 99 for 5?
Well, not necessarily a full moon, but it's bright enough. Last night, I think I remember seeing that the moon was very bright. Not a full moon per se, but very bright in the sky.
99 for 5. Hazaranga back and slapping that, but he can't beat Chris Gale. Don't know if you saw Vinci in the Pakistan Super League. Chris Gale was playing against Rashid Khan, took him out with a severe, he was feeling a short mid-wicket. It was a big on-drive. Because of that, Rashid Khan wasn't able to play in the test match against Zimbabwe, which they lost inside 2 days. Sean Williams scoring 100 there. He's looked good so far. Good for Zimbabwe cricket, good for Afghanistan, good for world cricket. But we're back here. McCoy for the West Indies. He comes in now to bowl to Hazaranga. Length delivery, and he sneaks a single onto the offside. Gale can't stop it. And Simmons comes in. Not in question. 100 up for Sri Lanka. 100 for 5 or 15 overs, Vinci.
Yes, 100 for 5. Very well played so far. Again, they would think that they don't have enough runs on the board. But what I would say, though, is I'm very impressed with the West Indian fast bowlers mixing the balls up, mixing up the deliveries, keeping the batsmen off of their rhythm. And if they continue this, not only are they mixing them up, but they're keeping them in the spots that they want to bowl them. Sometimes you mix up your deliveries, but they end up coming out bad. But in this case, they're mixing them up, keeping them in the areas that they want to keep them. And that is also allowing the batsmen not necessarily to free their arms and play with any great degree of comfort.
The variations have been reported. Thank you very much, Vinci. He's joining me a little while with the Darwin Telemark. He too would know a little bit about batting. Hazaranga is on strike, and he will wait now for DJ Bravo. DJ Bravo from Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, Springer, you heard that latest song?
Oh, yes, he's always got. Did you hear Chris Gale's song? You got to be able to listen to Chris also. Bravo comes in now to bowl to Hazaranga. He's back and cracking that out to the sweeper. Evan Lowe is coming around. Certainly they'll pick up a couple of runs right there. So 102 for 5. I'm joined by Darwin. Good evening, Darwin.
Hi, good evening, Springer. It's a slight drizzle, but the cricket looks good. West Indies trying to keep it tight, not giving too much away. Bravo bowling very intelligently in his over on the northern end. mixing it up with some slower ones, some cutters, and baffling the batsman a little bit.
Certainly. Hazaranga is on 4. He waits for Bravo. DJ Bravo, not for 8. He's into his second over. He comes both to him. And that was so slow. It took almost a year and a million to get to him down. He was already ranging up. And he's smiling now as if like, this is what I'm going to get.
Yes, and Bravo is just using some experience there. You have a pretty inexperienced Sri Lankan team, new players, younger players. Bravo has been around for quite some time. One of the best white ball players in the world, and he's understanding what to do, when to do it, and just using experience outside here.
7 4s and 3 6s in the Sri Lankan innings so far. Some 38 dot balls by the West Indies bowling attack. Bravo comes in out the bowl to Hazaranga. That's a Yorker delivery. Again, he can't score. And Puran playing a little bit of soccer. Don't think he'll be able to make the Trinidad and Tobago team because he missed the stumps. And small goals, as you said, now, he needed to score.
Yeah, and young Puran, always one who is off to do some of the most interesting things that you see. He just didn't pick it up, just kind of tried to tap it. Missed entirely.
That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to.
He is playing the right game. He is playing the correct game.
102 for 5.
Not a football player. The Soca Warriors would not pick him.
Not at all. Yes. Not at all. That would have been sending somebody there. Here comes Bravo as he moves away nicely now. He comes up now with the ball to Hazaranga. Hazaranga is whipping this into the onside. Coming around from the mid-wicket area. It's 2 fielders. In the end, Lendl Simmons gets here first, and they get 2 runs comfortably. So the West Indies outfielding has not been too bad for first timer, Darwin. You give them some nerves. Everybody a little nervous, but that's okay. On the lights.
I don't think it's nerves. It's a new level. They are outside and they are getting themselves into a rhythm. They've fielded well mostly, and you expect a few mistakes here and there. They haven't been many. I think Pollard will be happy with this outing. His bowlers has not done too badly here.
4 runs off of DJ Bravo over so far, winning number 47, 104 for 5. He comes in out the ball to Hazaranga. Hazaranga is just turning this, and again coming in very quickly this time is Fabian Allen, and they can't think about getting a second run this time, and he just rifles the return to Nicholas Puran. The score goes up to 105 for 5. The run rate is 6.63. Pereira is 1, Hazaranga is 7. DJ Bravo is into his second over. 5 deliveries bowled in this over so far.
Yeah, certainly not enough on this small ground, and certainly not enough when the Universe boss is outside and young Puran is in there and Lendl Simmons and Evan Lewis.
Who do you think is going to open, Darwin?
I would expect Simmons and Lewis. Gay would probably come in afterwards. But
I differ with you. I want the Universe boss to face the first ball.
You might want that, but it wouldn't be a smart move at this point.
Bravo comes in to bowl to Pereira. Pereira is back and cracking that can't beat Gale at cover. And so over number 16 comes to an end. The score is 105 for 5 here at Coolidge in this important CG Insurance Super 20 series between West Indies and Sri Lanka. 105 for 5. Over number 16 is completed. Hazaranga is 7. Pereira is 1.
And the West Indies trying here to look at building a team. They have brought in some very experienced players in the persons of Dwayne Bravo, Fidel Edwards, and Chris Gale. The long-standing world-class professional skipper. Pollard is still there. I think that blend of experience, high-quality talent as well, adds a certain bit of advantage to this West Indies team over this young Sri Lankan team. And they need to get a whole lot more to give the West Indies a challenge. And it's proving to be a bit difficult here so far for these Sri Lankan batsmen.
Good evening to Joseph Reds Pereira. You know, he's following the radio broadcast. McCoy moves away. He's in now to bowl to Hazaranga. He's steering this down to short third man and getting an easy single. Jason Holder. Did you remember the celebration from Jason Holder? What would you describe that one? 106 for 5.
Actually, he was having fun with Sinclair. I thought he saw such a fascinating thing that he just said, you know what, I can't do what he did. Let me take a roll. It was fun. It was all done in jest. I think what was most amazing of that is that Jason Holder actually tried to express a little bit of fun. Now that to me is he's such a straight guy, you know. He doesn't really express himself a whole lot. To see him actually engage in the fun, I think that was, in my mind, the highest element there of that exercise.
He bowled well so far. McCoy is in now to bowl to Pereira. Pereira is chipping this into the air. Somebody's coming off of the boundary right there. Will they take the catch? Yes, DJ Bravo. So, a second wicket for Obert McCoy, and Sri Lanka have lost their way here. 106 for 6. Pereira just playing a check drive. And DJ Bravo coming in off of the long on boundary, took a comfortable catch. Another wicket goes down for Sri Lanka in over number 17.
Well, certainly, if you are a young fast bowler trying to make your name in West Indies cricket, and you're bowling on a night like this, you would be extremely happy to see Dwayne Bravo take that catch. McCoy having a wonderful spell here. He's bowling his third over. He's now at having 2 wickets for 22 runs. Certainly quite happy. He's a left-arm seamer. They're investing in him. So far, his investment is proven to be fruitful here. It's paying dividends. And Bravo taking a pretty easy catch down at the long on, coming in from the long on boundary, picking it up. And Sri Lanka really trying hard here to get a few over the top, not succeeding. West Indies in a very, very good position here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground.
Well, Darwin, the last 44 balls has produced 5 wickets for the West Indies, while Sri Lanka have scored some 36 runs. Bandara comes into strike, but he's not in strike. He comes into the wicket, he's on the non-striker's end. Hazaranga will face McCoy. He's back and steering this down to Holder. Somebody could be in trouble if he hits. Oh, and Holder didn't get the rifle on there, but had that hit, I think Bandara would have been in trouble. They sneaked a single, 107 for 6.
Well, they got to get a single of every delivery now. They know that. The pressure is on, and so they had to run. The thing about taking quick singles is that you put the field under lots of pressure. There was that throw from Holder was nowhere close to hitting the stumps, and that's one of the things that you have to do when you're playing on a small ground. Put the fielder under pressure. We've seen the West Indies players do that, and they've not been able to hit the stumps just yet, but there may come some opportunities.
McCoy to bowl to Bandara. He's got a small little career. He's back and steering this. Can't get right down to third man as Lendl Simmons coming around there from backward point. Can't stop the single. Bandara is off the mark. He's on 1. Hazaranga is on 9. He comes back into strike. 108 for 6. And this is a historic day for the nation of Antigua and Barbuda and the Leewards by extension. You now have 2 international venues in Antigua and Barbuda. You also have 1 park in St. Kitts. So any major tournament could be held between Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis going forward. Here comes McCoy, comes in now to bowl to Hazaranga, and he's pulling away, missed everything. And he's still smiling as to walk out. How can I miss that? And I was waiting so long for it.
The Sri Lankan batsmen, I don't think, are picking up the pace of the pitch. And I think the West Indians have realized that. They are not really feeling the ball coming off the surface very well. They've played too many shots and missed slower ones, quicker ones. So still probably just getting acclimated to the conditions out there.
108 for 6. McCoy into bowl to Hazaranga. He's just hitting this one out to mid-wicket area, getting an easy single. So over number 17 is completed. The latest score here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, Sri Lanka 109 for 6. Hazaranga is 9. Bandara is 1. More comments from you, Darwin, and then we'll be the voice of Garfield Bufford.
Yes, and 48 balls. The last 48 ball yields 39 runs. And they need to get a whole lot more than that. They're going at 4.88 runs per over in the last 48 deliveries, and certainly way below par here. Not enough for the batting to come on paper, and they would probably hope to get a whole lot more.
Well, it's going to be Darren Bravo. Good afternoon, good evening to you. Darwin, good evening to all our listeners across the Caribbean. A record number of stations listening to our broadcast at this point. It's going to be Darren Bravo, DJ Bravo they call him, from the southern end. I know you have a point after this delivery from Darren Bravo. Starting number 18, bowls in this one, a full toss, driven down, back past the bowler straight. They get 1, they'll come back for the 2. Jason Holder runs around from long on to field, 2 more runs to the score. 18th over. 1 ball gone in the 18th over. 111 for 6. Hasaranga. Moving on to 12. Bandara on 1 at the non-striker's end.
Yes, and certainly I just wanted, you said greetings to everyone. I wanted to say greetings to all those folks in Dominica from Vibes Radio, and not so sure if the other stations are broadcasting this, but Vibes Radio, congratulations on broadcasting this. Heston Charles doing a great job over there, and I'm sure they are pretty excited about this game.
Here comes Darren Bravo. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is hiked over and is caught. Very good catch down at the wide long on deep mid-wicket position, and it's going to be Fabian Allen who took that catch, but he judged it brilliantly, and very, very good catch in the end to dismiss Hasaranga, and he would certainly want to tee off. In fact, he could have teed off a bit later on in the contest, because he's one of the batsmen with a brilliant strike rate, but very good catch by Fabian Allen in that wide long on boundary, running around from deep mid-wicket. DJ Bravo gets a wicket. He's 1 for 13. The score 111 for 7 in over number 18.
Right, Hasaranga beaten there by pace once again. Bravo holding that one back, literally bowling almost an off-cutter, very slowly, and he waited on it. He went through with the shot a little too early. He hit it well, but it was just, the ball almost died when he hit it. So it skied up, and I must say, Allen made a lot of ground. That was a beautiful catch. Another player would have had to dive to get it, but he ran so quickly, got around there, took it right in his midriff, and ended what could have been explosive knock by Hasaranga here. And Bravo taking another wicket and putting a whole lot of pressure on this Sri Lankan team.
7 wickets down, 111 runs. They're scoring at 6.40. The new batsman is Akila Dhananjaya. He comes to the crease. He'll be taking strike now. Akila Dhananjaya facing up to the bowler who bowls a foolish delivery, slower ball. He squirts this out to deep cover, 1 run, so he's off the mark. He's on 1. The score 112 for 7. 112 for 7. Sorry, that was Bandara who was taking strike. Dhananjaya now comes on strike. So Bandara getting that single out to deep cover. This is over number 18. Dhananjaya, he has no 50s, no 100s. He has a pretty minimal average. So one of the newer players in this relatively green Sri Lanka side. And they'll be looking to make an impact here. But so far they've been contained and they have been tamed at this point. They haven't gotten a chance to explode. 112 for 7. Dhananjaya comes in to strike. Is his first over, his first ball around the wicket. Here comes Bravo bowls, and this one short delivery, and he ducks out of the way. Dhananjaya does, leaves it to be taken by wicketkeeper Nicholas Puran. 112 for 7. Dhananjaya will be looking to tee off. He doesn't have a lot of balls, just 2 overs and 2 balls remaining after this.
Yes, they're gonna have to get going. They need to get this score up. They got to get another 30 or more runs if they can at least provide a fight. Otherwise it's going to be a pretty lean total. Still a total, but wouldn't be as fat as they would like it to be.
Scoring rate 6.34. Here comes around the wicket. This one is bowled by Bravo. Slower delivery, and this one is turned behind square on the leg side. They get 113 for 7. Dhananjaya off the mark as he gets 1. So coming back on the strike is Bandara. 113 for 7. 1 ball left in over number 18. International cricket back in the Caribbean. And what makes this historic, gentlemen, is that international cricket for the first time being played at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, the home of West Indies cricket, and now making its debut as the home of international cricket as well. It'll be staging, of course, one of 3 T20 internationals. Here comes Darren Bravo. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is stroked almost like a tracer bullet back past the bowler. 4 runs. Brilliant straight drive by Bandara. It dissected the long off on the long on. The captain Kyron Pollard and Jason Holder running around respectively from long off and long on, but it intersected them almost equidistant between both of them. 4 runs. So at the end of over number 18, 117 for 7. They'll need a lot more of those. Dhananjaya on 1, Bandara on 6. Sri Lanka looking to tee off, but losing wickets and losing their way.
Yes, and certainly this was an effort ball by Bravo, trying to get this one right up really sharply, and you can tell from the way he struck it. It wasn't that slower one that he's been bowling all through that last over. This one was a lot sharper, and he smacked it nicely, left the bat like a rocket, went between the 2 men, 1 at long on, 1 at long off. 4 runs, well played, but they're going to have to get going. They have a total of 12 deliveries left, and they're on 117 with 3 wickets in hand. And skipper Pollard goes back to Fiddle Edwards.
Fiddle Edwards will be bowling his last over. He's 1 for 22 off his 3 overs so far. Obed McCoy bowled out. He's at 2 wickets for 25 runs in his 4 overs. An economy of 6 1/4. 9 dot balls he bowled, no maidens, 25 runs. Obed McCoy.
He's done his job. He bowled very well. I think that's an excellent spell. Going at 6 in a T20 match, that's absolutely beautiful bowling. Well done, young man.
The run rate is now inched up now to 6.5. They're scoring at 6.50 even. Bandara on 6. Dhananjaya taking strike. He's on 1. Over number 19 in progress. Here comes the start of that as Fiddle Edwards teams in bowls, and this one is a short delivery punched into the covers. Chris Gale looking to come quickly to field the ball. He actually ran past the ball. They get 2 instead of 1. Chris Gale there overran the ball, looking to come in to field quickly. Actually ran past the ball, had to run back to retrieve it. The batsman actually get an extra run. So 2 runs to Dhananjaya. Welcomed runs for the Sri Lankans.
Well, certainly they knew the fielder in the covers was Chris Gale. They know he's not the fastest guy off his feet, and not only did they get 1, they pressed him and they picked up 2. So smart going here by the Sri Lankans.
Let's see if they'll target Chris Gale again, the self-styled universe boss. Here comes Fiddle Edwards from the northern end. He's up to the wicket to bowl to Dhananjaya. Good short delivery. Dhananjaya had to sway out of the way. Good pace on that one. We've seen a number of slower balls. That one had some serious miles on it. He swayed out of the way. 18.2 overs gone. 119 for 7. Dhananjaya on 3. Bandara on 6.
Yes, Dhananjaya trying to go up and over the slip. As you can see him trying to play it late. Missed it entirely, and Edwards beating him there by pace. Edward looks pretty fit for a 39-year-old Garfield.
Absolutely. He's been doing some work. You can see that, and he's certainly pumped up. He's ready for this occasion. So far, he's bowled 3 overs for 24 runs. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is stroked into the covers. Chase around here for Evan Lewis. They get 1. They'll have to stick with that. 1 run to Dhananjaya. He moves up to 4. 120 for 7 now. They're scoring at 6.49. 3 balls left in over number 19.
Yes, and that one was pushed a little wide of Gale, to the right of Gale, but young Lewis was able to push quickly to get there and save the second run. And Edwards really coming off here nicely. His rhythm is good. I must say, steaming in at 39, that looks quite fit. He looks pretty strong and is trying to demonstrate here that he belongs outside. You are in an international team. Lots of players trying to vie for your position, so there's no cakewalk out here. He has to prove he belongs, otherwise he won't be in. So we're seeing the veteran here pushing and delivering well for his squad.
Absolutely he is. So Fiddle Edwards, a little bit of a conversation there as he returned to his mark. He'll be bowling to Bandara on 6. They have to tee off here. Over number 19 in progress. Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He's up to wicket and bowls, and this one is a top edge. It will run very close to the boundary, into the boundary. Good attempt there by Obed McCoy. Very, very good attempt. And the ball seems, 4 runs. Just 2? Ball seems to have gone into the boundary.
Saved it.
He actually saved it, but very, very good. It almost seemed as if it ran into the boundary. So very good work by Obed McCoy. Excellent work at the end. Just really putting his body on the line, saving 2 runs. Who knows, in a T20 match, those 2 runs could be very, very important. We're going to look back at that.
Yeah, the umpires are going to watch that.
Yes.
Closely.
Let's see.
It might have
been touching while he was. Might have been touching the ball while his body was also touching the ropes as well. Let's see. It's being looked at. The umpires is getting the final confirmation on that. But he did very well, even if it is judged to have been 4 runs. He did very, very well indeed. And as the looking back here, let's see what the umpire's decision is. Will it stay with 2? Or will it be signaled 4?
Probably need to get a view from the other side to be quite sure.
Yes, from the reverse angle, it would have been good. But let's see what that. But it would have been, certainly it would be good for Obed McCoy if he was able to save 2 runs there. So nothing decided yet, not an adjudication on that one yet. It says it remains on 122 for 7, 122 for 7 at this point. The umpire still awaiting the confirmation there to see what happened there. Obed McCoy and of course the captain Karen Pollard looking and having a discussion now with Fiddle Edwards. They'll all standing around getting the signal now in his earpiece. The umpire. Let's see what the decision will be. Will it be 2 or will it be 4?
Whatever the decision is, Garfield, that effort by McCoy was absolutely wonderful. I mean, he stretched. He's a tall man, threw himself out. He's a big lad. He's not, a small guy. He threw himself at it, desperately tried. He didn't give it away, and it's 2 runs.
2 runs.
Well
very,
done,
very
McCoy.
good. Very good indeed by Obed McCoy. He is at the 3rd man boundary. That one was a top edge, just flew over the wicketkeeper. Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is stroked into the offside, down to extra cover, down to mid-off field, extra. Chris Gale was just running around from the extra cover position. The ball he pretty much just shepherded the ball. The ball just ran down to mid-off. They get one, so one more run to the score. 123 for 7. One ball left in over number 19. And so far, we really haven't seen the kind of explosion that you expect in the latter half of a T20 encounter.
Well, I think it's too late for that. They've got 7 balls left, and if there's an explosion in the last over, it's probably still not going to make that much of a difference. They wanted to get way above 131, which is where probably 130, and that's where it looks like they're going to get to.
They're scoring at 6.5 and over. Here comes Fiddle Edwards. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is played over into the third man, down to the third man boundary. They look for a second. They'll have to be content with one, so that's one run down to a deep third man. So that's the end of 19, the end of Fiddle Edwards' quota. 1 for 29 in his 4. Pretty strong performance by Fiddle Edwards coming back into the setup. 1 over left, 124 for 7. Dhananjaya on 5, Bandara on 9.
And certainly, when you begin to look at the West Indies figures, Obed bowling 4 overs for 25, Edwards now bowling 4 overs for 29. This is a very small ground. To be playing a 2020 game and go for 25 or 29 or even 30 on this ground, you've done extremely well. It takes only 2 balls to go for 12. They're going at 6. I think that is excellent cricket. They've bowled well, kept their line well, and have done very, very well for their team here. And the experienced Bravo, the depth bowler of all his life, is now back on finishing up.
Let's see, the last over in progress. Dhananjaya facing up, and this one is a slow delivery. The ball, he missed it completely. He was looking for the big heave over the onside. Eventually missed it. Ball kept low, as it has been wont to do from this southern end. Certainly we saw that in the CG Insurance Super 50. The ball kept low, and in the end just whizzed past the leg stump, just millimeter, just inches away from the leg stump. Taken by wicketkeeper Nicholas Puran. No run, 19.1 overs bowled. 5 balls left in the innings, 5 legal deliveries, 124 for 7. Dhananjaya is getting exasperated here. He wants to tee off, but he hasn't really gotten the delivery to do that. Let's see what the second delivery of this over does. And this one is a full toss, which is slower full toss, which he plays into the onside. They can't get more than one. Evan Lewis comes off the deep mid-wicket boundary to field. 1 run, 125 for 7. 4 balls left, 4 legal deliveries left. Bandara now on strike. Will he be able to tee off? He's on 9 off 5 so far. Dhananjaya on 6 from 8. Bravo has been on song. 1 from 20, and this is his 4th and final over.
And absolutely, if you've been watching Bravo, and these young players have been doing that for a long time, they expect to see him coming off a little bit quicker. He's just bedazzled them. He's bowled all sorts of cutters, slower one, little quicker one every now and then. Quite a lot of experience going on here.
Bravo comes in again and bowls, and this one is played into the onside, coming rushing off the boundary at the deep mid-wicket. Here is an opportunity for a run out. Will that be referred? It has been referred upstairs. They rushed back for the second one. Did they make it? The score at this point, 126 for 7. They're scrambling for every last run that they can get. They'll certainly need it. They really have an opportunity to really push on here. 6.53 the run rate, and Bravo has been really impressive. As we look back at the replay here, it does appear that he's going to be short. Is he? He might be in. Was the bat in the air though? But was the bat grounded, or is it in the air? It does appear that the bat was in the air, over the line. The bat was over the line, but it might have been in the air. Because in other words, when his hand went down, the bat actually pushed up. So let's see what the third umpire decides. But it does appear, I see some daylight between the ground and the bat. It might have been that the bat was not grounded as the bails were taken off by wicketkeeper Nicholas Puran. We're seeing from another angle here. Let's see if this will show us whether or not the bat was grounded. Again, that's in the air. The bat in the air at this point.
It's off the ground.
And in the air, so it might have been that he's short.
I think he's a gunner.
Dhananjaya looks to be in trouble. And that's the value of grounding. But I think what happened with him while the bat was in the air was that because he pushed down.
He's got to start moving.
Indeed. When his hand hit the ground, when his glove hit the ground, I think the bat actually pushed up. Let's see. They've gone for the magnifier here. As looking, it does appear that the bat is in the air. And I think Darwin and Terry and Vinci agree that if they were the third umpires, they would have been signaling out. Let's see what happens here. And
start moving.
The decision is out, as we expected. So the bat was in the air as he actually got the bat over the line, but it was not on the ground. So Ashen Bandara goes for 10 of 6 run out. Brilliant work again by Fabian Allen. What a fantastic outfielder he has been. 126 for 8, 3 balls left. They're scoring at 6.53 and over. Dhananjaya will be joined by the new batsman, but Bandara run out for 10. Another wicket going down for the Sri Lankans.
Yes, the pressure continues, and the West Indies team certainly not easing up. They are proving here that they're going to drive home a statement here. They're going to press this team. And they're doing so with a lot of a mix of all different types of outplay here. The outfielding has been quite brilliant. We've seen McCoy doing well, Allen doing well. We've seen Evan Lewis in the outfield doing quite well. We've seen a good mix here by the West Indies, and the bowlers have done, I think, very, very well. Bravo is now bowling 3.3 overs. He's gotten 1 for 21. He's taken 2 fine catches, and I can tell you that if you are bowling in a 2020 game and have 21 runs or almost 4 overs, you're feeling very good.
Dhananjaya facing up as Bravo moves in again, bowls, and this one is a slower delivery in the air. It will just drop short. I think that Lendl Simmons was waiting on that one to. Obviously, it was falling far short of him. I think that a few people who were actually watching on, there are no crowds here, but a few of the individuals who are a part of the ground staff and perhaps part of the officials here were perhaps willing him to run in for that catch, but it was dropping well short of him. So one more run to the score, 127 for 8, 2 more balls left in the over. So 2 more balls left, as it's going to now be the new batsman who will be taking strike. Actually, Dhananjaya is still on strike, and this one is stroked into the onside. A run around here. Will they come back for the second? Yes, they will. 2 runs and possibly a third. You know, they actually get a third run. So it does appear that between the captain Karen Pollard out there at a wide deep mid-wicket area, and Evan Lewis perhaps should have contained them to at least 2 there. 130 for 8, 130 for 8. And now it's going to be Chimera, the new batsman, who comes on to strike. So Dushmantha Chimera comes on strike. Dushmantha Chimera. He's now going to be taking strike. Well, he'll pretty much just have 1 ball left to face. Let's see what he'll be able to do with this last ball. 1 legal delivery left in the innings. 130 for 8. Chimera facing up to DJ Bravo from the southern end. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is driven down to long on. Rushing off the boundary is Jason Holder. They will be. It does appear that he's run out, you know. He's out. So that's the 1 more wicket going of the last ball of the 20 overs. 132 for 8 the score. 132 for 8. Chimera, he got 1, but coming back for the second run, he was run out. So the 20 overs completed for the Sri Lankans. 132 for 8, a modest score. And the last 59 balls, there were 59 runs, 6 wickets, and a run rate of 6. So the last 59 balls, last roughly 10 overs of the innings really would have gone the way of the West Indies. They kept things tight from the very beginning. They really didn't allow the Sri Lankans to get to tee off. Actually, the score ending on 131 for 9. 131 for 9, the Sri Lankans. As we're looking back at the replay, the new batsman going, Chimera, well run out. Long missing his crease. I mean, certainly a long way out of his crease as he was a run out. So Nicholas Purran taking the bails off. 131 for 9. That's how the Sri Lankans end their 20 overs. A brilliant performance by the West Indies, keeping things tight and keeping a lid on the Sri Lankans. They really didn't get to tee off.
Well, certainly, if you scored just around 6 and over, the entire 20 overs have been done well by the West Indies. I think the early batsmen in Dickwalla and Nissanka in particular, they were the ones who were set and could have made a difference. They did not do so. They failed to continue, and no one else really made any contributions, as we see the lower order just not producing at all. And we see, when you look at the bowling order, Sinclair went 3 for 26, Edwards 4 for 29, Holder 4 for 19, excellent bowling. McCoy 4 for 25, Bravo 4 for 26. If you produce this for your skipper in a T20 game, I think your skipper is extremely pleased, extremely happy, and that speaks volumes for the next 2 games, as the bowlers of the West Indies team would have sorted out a few things and realized that if they bowled particular paces, particularly Bravo, I think really outdid the Sri Lankan batsmen. He just bamboozled them. He didn't bowl too quickly. He mixed it up so nicely. In the end, West Indies would be very happy with his total. 139 is not a big score to chase. And certainly when you start with Simmons and Lewis, and you're followed up by the big boss.
Universe boss.
The universe boss, yes, well said. All right, I think you are feeling a little threatened if you are Sri Lanka right now. Pressure is going to come.
Indeed it will, but 131 for 9, that's how the Sri Lankans ended. They were put into bat by Kieran Pollard, who won the toss for the West Indies, and they really never got going. Nirishan Dikwela, he was bowled by Holder for 33, facing 29 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Danushka Gunathalika, he was caught brilliantly by Pollard of the bowling of Sinclair. The first wicket for Sinclair, and my didn't he celebrate. That was a brilliant gymnastic effort by Kevin Sinclair, matched only perhaps by the kind of glee and excitement that his teammates showed for him as he got his first T20 wicket. Pathum Nisanka, he was stumped by Pollard, walking past the delivery from Fabian Allen. He went for 39, facing 34 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. Dinesh Chandimal didn't really get going. He was caught by Holder of the bowling of McCoy for 11, facing 10 deliveries, 1 6 in that. Angela Matthews, the captain, would have been disappointed with his effort, striking one just behind a square, a short fine leg to have been caught by Lendl Simmons of the bowling of Edwards, thus flicking it straight into the hands of Lendl Simmons. He went for 5, facing 6 deliveries. Thesara Pereira, he was caught bravo, bowled McCoy for 1, facing 4 deliveries. Wanindu Hasaranga, much was expected of him. He really didn't quite deliver. Caught Allen, bowled bravo for 12, facing 14 deliveries. No boundaries in that. Ashen Bandara, he was run out. 10, run out for 10, facing 6 deliveries, 1 4. Akila Dhananjaya, he was left not out at the end, 9 from 9 deliveries, and Dushmantha Chimera, he was a run out against the 2 runouts in the innings. Fabian Allen actually figured in both of those runouts. He went for 2, facing 2 deliveries, 131 for 9 with 5 extras. The West Indies, a disciplined bowling performance by the West Indies. It was 20 for 1 when Danushka Gunathalika went. He went for 20 for 1 in the 3rd over, 71 for 2 when Nirishan Dikwela went, 87 for 3 when Pathum Nisanka went, 96 for 4 when Angela Matthews went, 97 for 5. Dinesh Chandimal, 106 for 6. Thesara Pereira, 111 for 7. Wananda Hasaranga, 126 for 8. Ashen Bandara, and 131 for 9 when Dushmantha Chimera was run out brilliantly as well. 131 for 9, as we said, with just 5 extras in that. The bowling for the West Indies, Kevin Sinclair, 3 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 1 wicket. Fidel Edwards, 4 overs, no maidens, 29 runs, 1 wicket. Jason Holder, 4 overs, no maidens, 19 runs for a wicket. Obed McCoy, 4 overs, no maidens, 25 runs, 2 wickets. Dwayne Bravo, 4 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 1 wicket. And Fabian Allen, 1 over, costing him 4 runs, and he got a wicket in that. He didn't actually finish, neither did Kevin Sinclair, but never quite needed. The bowlers who were bowled out, Fidel Edwards, 20, he had 1 for 29. Jason Holder, 1 for 19. Obed McCoy, 2 for 25. And Dwayne Bravo, 1 for 26. That's it for the Sri Lankan innings. So one half of this match completed, as the players now will be looking at re-strategizing and will be looking at how do they contest, how do they approach the second half of this match. 132 will be the score for the West Indies to secure victory in this first of 3 T20 internationals being played here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds in Antigua. Coolidge, just a stone's throw away from the VC Bird International Airport. International cricket making its debut here, the home of West Indies cricket, and what a fantastic way for cricket to return, international cricket to return to the West Indies. And what a fantastic way, despite the fact that there are no spectators, it's excitement, and another half of this match is in prospect that promises excitement, and dare we say, absolute brutal, pugnacious hitting from some of the big hitters in the West Indies. Lendl Simmons, Evan Lewis, the universe boss himself, Chris Gale, and dare we forget Kieran Pollard, the captain, and who should forget Nicholas Puran, a player that you have a lot of respect for, Darwin.
Well, I maybe not respect, excitement to see. He hasn't proven you can say you respect him yet. He's building a game, and he looks very exciting. I think the respect comes to the players who have established themselves, like Simmons. If we get down to Puran with this total, I think West Indies would have been a little sad at having lost all that wickets. The pitch doesn't have much. The Sri Lankan bowlers are probably not going to give them too much trouble. So we're probably going to see a West Indies team that approaches this in a pretty sublime effort. They're going to score well. They have natural scorers. Lewis can score. Simmons can score. Followed up by Gale. It's going to be a pretty easy offer here. Not a big target at all. And I still don't expect to see too much. If we see fireworks, it'll be over quickly. But if I were the West Indies, I'll just play natural cricket. And they can get 135 in 12 overs easily.
It should be an easy victory. Should be, all other things being equal. You know how glorious uncertainties, the game of glorious uncertainties this is, Darwin. You know that more than anybody else. So dare we not suggest that this match is over until the fat lady sings. 131 for 9. The West Indies will need 132 to win. We don't go anywhere, because when we come back from this short break, we'll be hearing from CEO of Cricket West Indies, Johnny Grave. He'll be joining us live to talk about the plans here for the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, the return of international cricket to the West Indies after, of course, a hiatus caused by COVID-19, and looking ahead to the rest of this year. What promises to be an exciting encounter. The Universe boss Chris Gale wants a third T20 title, and there we say he certainly will be going for it. When we come back, much more. Johnny Grave will join us.
This is Middle Stump on Vibe Radio, the champion station.
Regents Hotel welcomes you for an unforgettable stay in Dominica. Come taste the traditional dishes of Dominica in our gourmet restaurant. Enjoy a tour of the island. Take a dip in the hot springs, a scenic horseback ride, or water sports for the adventurous. Make your reservations today. Call 767-275-3539 or 767-615-6221 or email info@regents.com.
At only 45 minutes from the capital, Regents Hotel welcomes you to Portsmouth with 20 suites to make for an unforgettable stay in Dominica. Whether you're with friends or family, everything is done to make you feel like you're at home. Come taste the traditional dishes of Dominica in our gourmet restaurant. Enjoy a tour of the island and take a dip in the hot springs. Take an idyllic horseback ride or water sports for the adventurous. Visit Dominica and stay at the Regents Hotel. Make your reservations today. 767-275-3539.
This is Middle Stump on Vibe Radio, the champion station.
Welcome back here to the Coolidge Cricket Grounds as we get ready for the start of the second part of the match. Just a very quick word with Johnny Grave. Johnny, the CEO of Cricket West Indies, what do you make of international cricket making its debut here at Coolidge?
It's absolutely fantastic for us to get cricket back in the Caribbean. It's been such a long time since we hosted Ireland back in January of 2020, and to be standing here now at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, which we bought with the government here in Antigua and Barbuda, and be watching the West Indies men's team play Sri Lanka is fantastic.
Absolutely. As we get ready for the start, what do you make of what you've seen so far of the first half of this match?
Well, I think, like all games of cricket, you judge it after the second team's batted. So hopefully they've not got enough runs, and we can toast the West Indies victory. All
right, we're going to get your views as we see if the first ball being bowled in the West Indies innings, as this one is bowled to Lendl Simmons, who just plays it into the onside. He ambles a run, so Lendl Simmons off the mark. First up, Angela Matthews, the captain for the Sri Lanka team, is starting the bowling. He's bowling from the southern end. Lendl Simmons is playing that one very calmly into the short mid-wicket region, getting one run. In terms of plans for the remainder of this year, Johnny, in terms of cricket, this is an all-format series, T20s, ODIs, Test matches. What's on for the rest of the year?
Well, we're very much hoping that the international summer will be stacked with cricket. So we're hoping that South Africa will come here in June, followed immediately by Australia and then Pakistan before the Caribbean Premier League. And then we'll all head off to India for the defending that T20 World Cup title.
Here comes Angela Matthews. He's up to the wicket and bowls and is turned off the legs by Evan Lewis. Can't beat short, fine leg. He's yet to get off the mark. One without loss. They were in over number the first over. There's 2 balls gone. So and of course we're building up to the T20 World Cup later this year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're hopefully going to have 15 T20 internationals after the 3 that we're playing here against Sri Lanka, and that's all part of our preparations for that T20 World Cup leading into the CPL, and we'll head over to India early as well to play a few extra games.
Angela Matthews bowls, and this one is lifted high and mighty by Lendl Simmons. It didn't take him too long, 6 runs. It didn't take him too long to go to tee off. He just wanted one delivery to look at that. Evan Lewis is off the mark with a massive 6. That's lifting that one straight over the bowler's head. Angela Matthews, let's see how he's going to respond. Evan Lewis is pretty much following on what he did in the CG Insurance Super 50. He really could tee off, and if he does, this could be make short work of the 132. Certainly you would be very impressed by what you saw, Johnny.
Yeah, look, just touching on the CGI Insurance Super 50 Cup, I thought, Trinidad were the outstanding team. They won every game, and they were magnificent in the final, so good to see.
Here goes Angela Matthews, and this one is lifted over deep mid-wicket. 6 more. 2 6s on the trot. Evan Lewis is certainly taking no prisoners. Angela Matthews has got a baptism of fire in his first over. The score 13 without loss. Just 4 balls gone in the West Indies innings. Lewis rushes on to 12. Certainly, he's looking to carry on what he did, Johnny, from what he did in the CG Insurance Super 50.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying, Trinidad were in great form during the whole tournament, and were very worthy winners. So, hopefully Lendl and Evan, who obviously had good tournaments in that, can carry that form through, not just for this T20I series, but also for the ODIs that sort of have a sort of extra importance on them on the basis that they form part of the ICC Super League, which is part of the qualification process for the next 50-over World Cup in India in 2023. So having lost that one-day series in Bangladesh at the start of this year, it's really important that the team bounce back and get some points at home against Sri Lanka.
Here comes Angela Matthews. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one again hit into the leg side. 6 more runs, this time over deep backward square leg. 3 6s on the trot. Angela Matthews looks confused, he looks dejected, and frankly, he doesn't know where to bowl the next delivery. 19 without loss, 1 ball left in over number 1. Already, he's being taken to the cleaners. Evan Lewis is going blitzkrieg. Wonderful shot.
Yeah, it's actually not the smallest ground in the Caribbean. Many people say that the CCG is the smallest ground. Actually, Warner Park in St Kitts is marginally smaller. So we've got the full 65-metre boundaries here around the Coolidge Cricket Ground. But when Evan Lewis hits it like that, it doesn't matter whether you're playing at the world's biggest ground. It's a 6 at any ground in the world.
Absolutely, 132 is the target, and so far, the rate he's going, he wants to have an early night, Evan Lewis, and certainly Lendl Simmons are the non-strikers and can certainly hit it a mile as well. They're looking for the ball in some shrubs just to the left of the scoreboard, the electronic scoreboard here, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, as we look back at that delivery. So 3 6s on the trot. 1 was straight over, straightish long on, then 1 was over deep mid-wicket, and then the third one over deep backward square leg. He's taking no prisoners. Evan Lewis can certainly strike it, and he showed that in the CG Insurance Super 50, helping Trinidad and Tobago to an imperious, rather facile victory in that. Let me ask you finally, Johnny, in terms of the plans for this ground, making its international debut, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, what do you make of those plans, and what can we expect, what can West Indian supporters expect from this cricket ground, the home of West Indies cricket?
Well, that's it. We want to make it the a world-class home for West Indies cricket. So it's already got, as you know, fantastic cricket facilities that we're enjoying now, but
here comes Angela Matthews. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this time he's forward defensive. They're stroking it square in the offside. There is no run. Fielded at point, 19 without loss. And that's the end of over number 1. Power play 1, end of over 1, 19 without loss. Lewis 3 6s on the trot. He's on 18. Lendl Simmons on 1 of the non-strikers, and he'll be taking strike in the next over. Angela Matthews 19 runs in his first over. The target that's 132. Just very quickly, in terms of the plans for this ground.
Yeah, so we've bought the ground in partnership with the government of Antigua and Barbuda, and whilst it's got international class now facilities in terms of the playing surfaces and the outfield, we've got big plans to develop just behind where we are now, the pavilion, and build world-class training facilities. So 18 grass nets with full run-ups, an indoor high-performance centre with a high-performance gym for the players to do their rehab and also their fitness and conditioning, and then also develop the commercial assets. So to our right-hand side, the old Sticky Wicket restaurant we want to turn into a tourist attraction, and also sort of refurb and build accommodation here. So really ambitious plans that we're developing at the moment.
Akila Dananjaya, as we say thanks to Johnny Grave. Really appreciated Johnny for stopping by. So sorry that we couldn't talk longer, but we'll talk longer during as this competition, as this series continues. So many thanks to you, Johnny Grave. A new over started. The second over started by Akila Dananjaya. He's bowling from the northern end, and he's bowling now to Lendl Simmons with a slip in place. Here he comes, bowls, and this one is swung into the leg side just behind square. They can't score. Lendl Simmons remains on 1. Lewis at the other end, he's really taken a liking already to Angela Matthews. He's on 18, the score 19 without loss. This is just the second over being bowled. Akila Dananjaya, he has best figures in T20s of 3 for 36. He's captain Angela Matthews after having been taken to the sword by Evan Lewis. Would really want Akila Dananjaya to get a wicket here. He bowls, and this one is struck back along the pitch by Lendl Simmons, fielded by Dananjaya. No run, 19 without loss, as we welcome back Darwin Telemack.
Yes, T20 cricket at its best. 19 in 1 over. And the Sri Lankans are probably feeling sorry out there.
Here comes Lendl Simmons, just making room for himself, strikes this into the covers, fielded. They get 1 run, just making way to, just backing away to the leg side and just slapping that one into the covers, getting 1. He moves on to 2, 20 without loss. The score, we're in over number 2. Lewis now comes back on strike. Let's see his approach to the spinner. He certainly took a liking to the medium pace of Angela Matthews. Let's see what his response will be to Akila Dananjaya.
Lewis has one approach. You pitch it in the wrong zone, he's going to go. And if he bowls anywhere close to his zone, Dananjaya is going to be as equally as sorry as his skipper, Matthews. But he's going great guns, and I'm sure Simmons himself is just itching to go as well. So 2 very hard-hitting batsmen demonstrating what happens at the top of the order in a T20 game.
Angela Matthews is at a slip as around the wicket comes Dananjaya bowling to Evan Lewis, and this one is a stern into the leg side to deep mid-wicket, to the mid-wicket position, fielded by Pathum Nisanka. There's 1 run, so Lewis moves up by 1. The score 21 without loss, and Lewis moves up now to 19. His first run, that is not a boundary. He got 6, 3 sixes on the trot of Angela Matthews. Here comes Akila Dananjaya. He's bowling now to the right-handed Lendl Simmons, who goes high, and 6 runs over deep mid-wicket. So he gets in on the act as well. Lendl Simmons, he's not to be outdone. Lendl Simmons, his first 6. The end of over number 2, 27 without loss. Simmons rushes on to 8, Lewis on 19. Both these batsmen are really looking ominous, and Sri Lanka could have an early night tonight.
Well, certainly Simmons and Lewis are very familiar with this ground. They've played quite a few matches here recently, albeit at the 50-over level. But I must say that Simmons is not one who likes to be outdone in terms of smashing it around. So the 2 players, they play for the Red Force, they play for Trinidad and Tobago, familiar with each other, and they would know how to apply pressure here, and they're doing it. They're doing it in grand style, scoring at what is typically a normal T20 rate. They're going at 14 runs and over, and thereabouts, and certainly proving that's the way to go. And this is one of the reasons why you always knew that 131 was going to be a bit of a challenge to defend on this small ground.
Dushmantha Chimera will be coming into the attack. So the captain has pulled himself from the attack after this 1 over. And who wouldn't? After having gone for so many runs in his first over, being tinged to the cleaners, he's given the ball to Dushmantha Chimera. He's up to the wicket now, bowls, and wide delivery. He starts with getting a little pace on that, but his radar was off. Wide delivery bowling to Evan Lewis. You could say that he's putting the ball where Evan Lewis can't reach it, because he's certainly hitting whatever he can reach to the boundary. So wide delivery. So the first extra of the innings. So far, this is over number 3. Dushmantha Chimera. He has best figures of 3 for 30, an economy of 8.5, an average of 36 for his 16 wickets so far in 20 matches. Here comes Chimera. Starting again from the southern end to bowl to the unsung Evan Lewis. He bowls, and this one is in the air over extra cover for 4. That one, just stepping into it and just really going for power on that one. And 4 runs, and he is now on fire. 32 without loss. Lewis on 23.
Yes, he picked up the pace with that ball that went past him outside the off stump. So he already figured that if he plays through the line and the ball is right in the slot, he's going to get 4. It's the power play overs, fielders are in, he's going to go for it. And Lewis is on fire here this evening. He's going at everything and hitting it very, very well. Sri Lanka is in a bit of bother here.
Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket again. Around the wicket to ball to Lewis, and Lewis just strokes this one. Just back with a point. The third man runs around to his left to field. One more run. The score 33 without loss. Now 33 without loss. Lewis rushes on to 24, brings Lendl Simmons on 8 back into the strike. It's a right-handed Lendl Simmons, the left-handed Evan Lewis. Pretty much they would have been, as you said, accustomed to this ground, having dominated in the just concluded CG Insurance Super 50. 33 without 33. And by the way, that was a no ball signal. So a rather big no ball there. There was no, that was a little, well, big enough for the no ball to have been called. So no ball signal. So there will be a free hit here for Lendl Simmons, as if he needed any more incentive to go after the bowling. Lendl Simmons with a free hit. The 2 fielders out. There is a long on and there's a deep mid wicket. Here comes Chimera. He starts to move in from the southern end with a free hit in progress, and this one is stroked high and mighty. Grandiose shot for 6 over wide long off. That one just moving his left leg out of the way and hitting inside out. Magnificent shot for 6 by Lendl Simmons. The free hit opportunity was there. That gave him added incentive. He was obviously in the mood already. 40 without loss. Simmons rushes on to 14.
Yes, and if you're going to face a bowler for the first time and he's bowling you a free hit, what better time to demonstrate your dominance of him? And he smashed it over long off for a huge 6. Simmons is going, Lewis is going. There's a lot of pressure here on Sri Lanka.
Carnival cricket in progress. Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket again, and this one is stroked through square cover. That will go all the way for 4. A shot of class, hit with a plum. Just a rather slow delivery. He took some of the pace off it, and Lendl Simmons just easing into the shot, just going under the front foot, and is caressing the ball through square cover for 4. 44 without loss. We're in over number 3, just over number 3. 2.3 overs bowled. Simmons rushes on to 18 at the young strikers, and Evan Lewis on 24.
And that was a screamer. It just reaped over the surface, raced past square cover, and what a lovely shot as he leaned into it. And the bowler is trying to figure out how to stop the carnage. He's gone for 17 so far.
There is a real pressure on the Sri Lankans. Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket. Bowls. This is short and hit down to short fine leg. Had that eluded the short fine leg, had he gone just a foot to his right or left, he would have gotten 4. As it was, the short fine leg fielder just made sure that he went onto that and stopped it. Looking at Danushka saving that one. Danushka Gunalathika, the opening batsman who was dismissed earlier, who was dismissed from that screamer of a catch from Kyron Pollard earlier. The score 44 without loss. 2 balls left in over number 3, and certainly Chimera has been facing the sword. He's certainly faced the edge of the sword from both these batsmen. He's running up now from the southern end to bowl to the right-handed Lendl Simmons, and Lendl Simmons is playing this one. That will go all the way for 4. And Danushka didn't really even run after that. That was just turned fine and actually just 4 leg bys. So that one just clipped, well, actually just took his pad along the way and down to the deep fine leg boundary for 4. 48 without loss, and the scoring rate is going like a canter.
Yeah, certainly. That one is pitched down the leg. Simmons missing it, brushed the pad. 4 runs. He's still got another delivery to go, and West Indies are 2 short of 50 inside of 3 overs. Great going here. Unbelievable batting here by these 2 batsmen.
The target is 132, 48 without loss. Here comes another delivery stroked into the covers. No run. You could hear the loud shout of no from Lendl Simmons in our effects microphone. The end of 3 overs, and at the end of 3 overs, the West Indies chasing 132 for victory. A modest target, 48 without loss. Simmons on 18, Lewis on 24, and hear this. Lewis on 24 from 8 deliveries, Simmons on 18 from 11. They're chasing just 132. After more comments from Darren Telemack, it'll be the voice of Vernon Springer.
And these 2 batsmen are certainly proving to the Sri Lankans that they're going to be under some pressure here. They're not going to ease up. None of these batsmen seem to be in the mood to be grafting or pushing around here. They're going to go. You have the fielders in. Lewis likes to hit it long and hard, and Simmons by no means someone that likes to push around. So Sri Lanka is having a baptism of fire here, Springer.
Certainly. Danjanaya in now to bowl to Lewis. Lewis is back and just clipping this over the square leg area. Down one bounce into the boundary for 4. So third boundary hit so far. 50 comes up for the West Indies, 52 without loss. And the folks in Trinidad and Tobago, they're having a party because for the first time during our broadcast, Multicultural Radio on U97.5 FM is carrying our coverage.
Beautiful. Say welcome to the folks in Trinidad. You're listening to two of your sons of the soil, two fabulous West Indies batsmen, pushing it here at the Coolidge ground, delivering a huge amount of pressure here on the Sri Lankan bowler, which has looked pretty tame so far, Springer.
52 from 21 balls. Here's Lewis driving again, and going to be caught at long off. And he just needed to get some elevation onto that. So the West Indies have lost their first wicket inside the 4th over. Just needed some elevation onto that one, Darwin.
Well, yes, it was pretty much one that the bowler held back a bit. He didn't get to the pitch all the way, and he certainly didn't hit it as he normally would, and hit it down straight to mid-off, and catch taken. So wicket here for the bowler, and we look at the catch. He almost overran it there a little bit, Springer, but he held on to it, and Lewis, sad face, walks back to the pavilion. He's made 28, a cameo here at Coolidge, and out comes the Loxed Universe boss.
Yes, out comes Chris Gale batting number 3. And Chris has already made his mind up. It doesn't matter, where he bats. He just wants to just make sure that he's representing the West Indies in a very big way. In fact, Darwin, this is Sri Lanka's lowest total against the West Indies. Their 2 previous would have been 101 in 18.4 overs in Colombo in 2012, 122 for 9 off 20 overs in 2016, and 131 tonight here at the Coolidge grounds with 8 4s and 3 6s of 20 overs. So the target is 132, Darwin. Chris Gale walks out, and he'll be in strike. Pretty interesting period of time there. Let's look at that career. His T20 career, 1,627 runs with 13 50s and 2 centuries of 55 innings. And you're talking about the universe boss who's just rocked the entire world when it comes to T20 cricket.
Absolutely. How do you score 100 runs in 20 overs and maybe not even taking all 20?
Danjaya comes in now to bowl to Gale. Gale comes quietly forward. There's a peel for a leg before. He would have got an inside edge onto it, I'm sure. They're going for a review. Pretty interesting. What do you think, Darwin?
Well, we're going to wait to see if he touched it. The Gale seems to have stood there on move, but the bowler seems to be
very confident,
quite certain that he may have not gone too far or may have missed it entirely. So quite an interesting situation here. We have not seen the replay. We are probably going to take a look at a few things here in a while. But the Sri Lankan Springer looks very, very confident that they may have got their man here.
You mean the bowler looks confident? I think Chris Gale had a big stride onto it, and he missed the bat. It might be closer than we think, Darwin.
Well,
if it's a straight ball,
one of the things
he could be in trouble.
One of the things that we don't know is did he hit it? It's going past the bat.
It's gone past his bat. So
it brushes the front pad, and
but
is
stride
in line. So no bat. So we're gonna now look at how it lines up. So
he might be in trouble, Darwin.
No pad.
Let's look at it.
Middle hitting, and Gale looks like he is in problems.
He's in problem, is it?
Yes.
He's out like before. So Chris Gale goes. He has to go. Good review.
Umpire retracts. I think the umpire may have thought it was going to be a little high.
Because of his stride.
Yeah, but certainly Gale goes back. Disappointed. He came out, pushed at it, and is out. The universe boss goes for 0. Danayanjaya. Certainly a happy man here. This is a big wicket for this bowler. Chris Gale, by no stretch, a simple wicket, but West Indies 52 for 2 would still be in a good position, but would have preferred to have seen Chris Gayle go on. But in comes an exciting player.
Hat-trick ball, Dananjaya.
Yes, he's on a hat-trick.
Nicholas Puran comes out. So from Jamaica to Trinidad and Tobago. So the party continues.
Well, I tend to think of them as the Maroon in this stage. So they are West Indies batsmen. But this young guy, he has so many character to how he plays. One never knows what he's going to do. He needs to not allow a hat-trick ball here.
That's the first objective. Dananjaya, Nicholas Puran. Short little career so far, Darwin. He's got 250s, 361 runs from 22 innings. So, but he's a live wire playing for the West Indies. He's on a hat-trick ball from Dananjaya, who comes from the CIUN, comes in out the ball to him, and he's driving. He's appeal for out, caught behind. He's out. Dananjaya gets a hat-trick. Nicholas Puran is caught by the wicketkeeper. Hat-trick for Dananjaya. 52 for 3, the West Indies. After a flying start, are in trouble, Darwin.
Well, they're not in trouble yet, but certainly not happy with what just happened. 3 wickets in 4 deliveries. So he's not just on a hat-trick, Springer. He has 2 more deliveries to bowl. Lots of pressure on the incoming batsman. I suspect we might see who's going to come out next. Would it be the skipper or?
Nah. Who's coming? Let's wait and see.
But certainly there's a lot of jubilation here. Colombo must be ringing bells and singing and jumping over there as the team is bringing hope to this game. They've taken 3 wickets in succession, and the pressure on the West Indies team is building a bit, and someone has to release it. The skipper comes out to try to steady the ship. Captain, your ship isn't sinking yet, but your ship is in trouble.
Dananjaya 3 for 12. This is just his second over. 52 for 3. And the West Indies white ball captain, Kieran Pollard. Just want to talk a little bit about the way Nicholas Puran got out there. He had to be a little bit tighter. His bat was way from his bat, and it just reached, really, rather than getting a little tighter.
You can't. Nicholas Puran plays cricket in a particular way.
Okay.
And you're going to get what you get with Nicholas Puran, so you may as well accept it. He's not a regular orthodox player. He plays his shots, and it's very disappointing to see how he got out. But if you're expecting him to be classically going behind it or leaving it, that's not Nicholas Puran. And he's created a bit of a problem here for West Indies. Skipper Pollard has to stop the slides. For the next 2 deliveries, they are way ahead in terms of the run rate. It's all about getting this bowler off because he is on fire here.
Sort of looks like Vasami Pamal. What do you think, Darwin? He has a sort of look, his face, mirrored face there.
He's looking like a happy man, I can tell you.
They're excited. He got a hat-trick against the West Indies. Can you believe that? Rafa Flasser, here's Pollard whipping this one beautifully. And we'll get a couple of runs here. Magnificent piece of fielding there by the fielder. So he's been able to come quietly back, and he's off the mark. So at least he's cooled things down for a little while. The West Indies captain, 53 for 3. Just wanted to get off the mark.
I think that was a delivery that kept really low. He had to hurry down on it too. And we are looking at quite a lineup. Paul, Holder, Allen, Bravo to come.
53 for 3. Simmons is strike, which was Dananjaya. Comes back and punches that and gets in. He's a single. It's gone past the middle fielder and will go down to the boundary for 4. That's good timing there.
Well played by Simmons.
Wow, that was really good timing, and the fielder will be very, very disappointed that he maybe didn't make a bigger effort in cutting that off. 57 for 3 at the end of over number 4. I think we remember over number 4 for a very long time, Darwin.
Well, it's cricket at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, and it's a game of cricket where you never know what can happen.
Anything can happen.
They were batting so well that you would never have thought that there would be 3 wickets going down in and over. Yes, like that. And it takes one event to create a spiraling sets of circumstances. And how the game have just turned. West Indies is still ahead over by the run rate. The score, the total to achieve is not so far out of reach. But certainly the Sri Lankans have brought a game on here at Coolidge. It's not a walkover by any stretch right now.
So we have another bowling change up us as we look back on the play here on the television replay, and we see some action taking place there. Hazaranka will come into strike. 57 for 3, 4 overs bowled so far. The West Indies off to a flyer, but they've lost 3 crucial wickets. Very important, 3 for 17 with 6 dot balls. What an impressive spell so far. Would you bowl him out?
You have no choice. He's just got a hat trick. You're going to have to try him again and see if he can continue putting some pressure on these West Indies batsmen.
So Pollard comes in to strike. Hazaranka, age 23, is going to start from the media center and he's going to come in now to bowl to the West Indies captain Kyran Pollard. Into bowl to Pollard, flatter, faster. Pollard standing up straight and just defending a good length delivery. Let's see what his approach will be. 57 for 3. The target is 132. That's the target. As we break for a while as Hazaranka turns. He's got some 16 wickets, a best of 3 for 21. He comes in now to bowl to Pollard, down the onside, and Pollard just turns it, looking for a single, had to scurry back as the fielder from short fine leg came around very quickly. And the score remains on 57 for 3. We're into over number 5. Simmons is on 22. He's almost like a spectator, Darwin, here. Looking at all the action taking place. First Lewis, then Gale, dot ball, looking to sneak a single, but they get it quite easily as a fielder from short mid wicket couldn't stop the single. And so Pollard quietly goes up to 2, 58 for 3, just cooling the nerves, brings Simmons into strike, who's 22 from 12.
Yes, and certainly that was a good run. And skipper Pollard had to hurry home here, but he was well home in advance. But Simmons certainly the one who would probably want to be on strike. He's been playing well. He's been out there longest. He's faced 12 deliveries for his 22 runs, going at well over a run a ball, Simmons. And with Lewis put on quite a beautiful 50-run partnership. West Indies were just 50 without loss. Now they have 58 for 3.
Hazaranka comes in to bowl to Lender Simmons, into bowl to Simmons. Simmons is having a gun and then it's gone through the mid-off fielder, down to the boundary for 4. He should have done a lot better with that. Certainly should have done a lot better with that. Not good at all. Tesoro Pereira should have cut that off, Darwin, at this level.
Well, it was one of those things where are you going to go? Are you going to field it? He wasn't really sure which one to do. In the end, he didn't either. It was one of those things where he should have gone for the catch. And even if you had made the effort to take the catch and you missed it, it would have looked a lot better. But Pereira looked very, very soft there, and Simmons got 4 runs.
62 for 3, 5 boundaries and 5 sixes so far in the West Indies innings. The target is 132. It's all happening here at Coolidge in the first game of the CG Insurance West Indies versus Sri Lanka series. The West Indies captain has had to come out because there's been a hat-trick. First Lewis, then Gale, then Puran. Now it's all happening here. Simmons on the go. He's 26 from 13. Hazaranga from the media center end comes in now to bowl to Simmons. Simmons comes quietly forward and respects a good length delivery. And Kyran Pollard just reminding him we have to bat all of the overs. In a rehearsal, Simmons says, I will hit you over mid-wicket if you just bowl it there the next time. He waits now as Hazaranka comes in now to bowl to Simmons. In now to bowl to Simmons. Simmons is paddling this one around. He's out like before. He seems stunned in it, but I don't think he got it out. Are they going to have a review? He's calling Pollard to ask him what he thinks, and they're going for the review, Darwin.
I think Pollard is asking him to look at it. Simmons thought about it a long time, and they came down the pitch and did it, but that looks pretty close.
I don't think that was the length for him to sweep that
looks
shot.
Pretty close. It was a full length ball. He tried to play across it, and we are seeing maybe a little bit of overconfidence here. They need to be very careful. It looks in line. And boy, we're looking at.
Might be going down, Darwin.
Did he hit it?
But I think he might be going down.
I am not so sure. That looks very close.
So we wait. Decision pending.
Missed all bat and pad. Just straight flush onto the pad.
So we wait and see. The decision is pending here. We wait to see. Simmons looks a little frightened and dejected, as if like I maybe should not have played that shot so early in my innings.
Line it up. He is in trouble. Simmons is in trouble, and he's probably going to be asked to leave. Simmons walks off, and Sri Lanka continues to pile under pressure as West Indies loses a 4th wicket. Simmons, LBW, bowled Hasaranga. And we see Coach Ruddy Esprit, and I'm sure Pip Simmons is a bit concerned now as 132 seems a mile away, Springer.
It does 62 for 4. Well, I think West Indies will win quite easily. We have to ruffle a couple of feathers right here in the dressing room. So coming out is Jason Holder. So Jason Holder will come out now. So I think makes the game exciting.
Well, it's exciting, yes. It's not exciting for West Indies fans. And so many times we've seen what ought to be a pretty easy gettable target seem so far out of reach. And we are hoping that this is not one of those disappointing moments from the West Indies team. Skipper Pollard is out there. He is joined by the current Red Ball test team captain, maybe the two most responsible players in West Indies cricket right now at the moment. Pollard captains the white ball team, and Holder the red ball team. They ought to demonstrate some level of responsibility and bring this team closer to the 132.
So 62 for 4. Very interesting period of time. Some 5 overs bowled as we wait for Danan Jaika, who comes in out the bowl to Pollard. Pollard is hoisting this one into the air. That's gone all the way. Darwin over mid wicket for 6. And when he brings out that big heavy bat, that looked like a check drive, Darwin.
He just clipped it.
I like how you said that.
Yes. He just clipped it. There's something about this ground and Kieran Pollard that I'm always fascinated by. It just looks too small for him. And the bowler, he tossed it up, and Pollard just, no heavy bat lift. He just clipped it, big heavy bat, and it went way over the ropes for a big 6. It would have been a 6 on most cricket grounds as well.
Danan Jaika will have to go and rethink again. It's in the slot. Pollard is going. Danan Jaika from the CIUN into bowl to Pollard. Pollard is hitting it straight. 6 more. He splits the long on and the long off.
Well,
so he's on fire here.
That didn't split long off. That went to the scoreboard.
To the side screen.
To the side screen, yes. Just went straight to the side screen. It looked like such a regular shot. But once again, getting right into the middle of the side screen. So it hit right up. It didn't just drop on it. It hit right smack into the middle of the side screen. Big hit by Pollard. And he is not being tied down here. You got my batsman out 3 in a row. I'm going to hit you 2 6s. Let's see if he does a third.
West Indies need 58 from 88 balls. Danan Jaika comes into bowl to Pollard. Into bowl to Pollard. Pollard's gone again. That's gone. 6 more.
Yes.
6 more. Danan Jaika is. How am I supposed to bowl to this man? That's 3 6s. 52. 87 balls.
Well, we are looking at wicket in the previous over. Danan Jaya getting 3 West Indies wickets, and Pollard is going 6 6. I don't want to say the other word. That's a bad word, isn't it? 6 6 6. Maybe there'll be another one to change that figure. Most Caribbean people would love to see another 6 to mix that up a little bit.
Danan Jaya is in trouble here. He's having a discussion here with Angela Matthews, the captain. He's figuring out, how am I going to bowl to this man? Now you can imagine you get a baptism like this. Oh, pretty interesting. So Darwin, describe that field for me, Darwin. What did they figure out here?
Well, I don't know what they're going to try. He's going to hit it if it comes. So let's see. Hits it for another 6. This one is gone. Another 6. So add 6. This is a bigger 6. My goodness. Pollard is on fire at the Coolidge ground. 6 6 6 6. Springer.
I'm speechless. The West Indies captain has just come out in a blaze of glory, and it's all happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. Could you believe that the over before had a hat-trick, and then all of a sudden the game has just turned upside down? 4 CG maximums here. The think tank for Sri Lanka is meeting. I think they're going to have to put the fielders outside if they want to be able to make sure they get Pollard out.
Well, I think they have to get the standby umpire closer with the boxes of balls, as Pollard is determined to ensure that all the balls that are bowled to him are picked up from outside of the boundary boards.
And all of a sudden, Danan Jaya figures at 3 for 41, Darwin, in 2.4 overs.
Well, he's been very lucky. He's bowled a hat-trick, and that will always go down. To get a hat-trick in a T20 game is no small feat. Pollard, however, is 2 6s away from having completed a 6 in every ball in and over. And can he do it? That would be the hope of every West Indian fan. Can Pollard hit another 6 and followed up to finish the over with 6 6s?
Well, The world is waiting. The world is looking at Coolidge Cricket Ground right now. The major discussions are taking place. If you're a betting man, go and bet where and bet, because maybe, just maybe, might happen. The West Indies so far have hit 5 boundaries and 9 CG maximums. In this over alone, Pollard has hit 4.
Well, definitely we see the West Indies team applying the pressure, and can the skipper with his big bat, big strong arms, get another one?
Dhananjaya comes in now to bowl to Kyron Pollard. In the photo, Pollard hit that one. That one! Out of the ground! Into the CIU! Oh, it's all happening here.
Pollard hits another 6. So we are watching an over with 5 sixes. And history is going to be made at the Coolidge Creek. Well, it's already history here at the Coolidge Ground. In the first international match here at this ground, this venue, we have a batsman that has hit 5 sixes in an over, 1 more delivery to go, and we may see a record here on this ground, and maybe certainly we would have to check to see what the stats would show, whether that has been done in a T20 match before.
Oh my, it's all happening here. They need 40 from 85 balls. The score is 92 for 4, and we're in over number 6. And Pollard has hit his 32 from 9 deliveries. Dhananjaya in out the ball to Pollard.
Yes,
Pollard hits that, it's gone!
Number 6!
6 more! Oh! Oh! This is authority. The West Indies white ball captain just steps out and just destroys the young man. I can't say it anything better, Darwin.
He did it with such ease. He just waited and clipped it off his pads over mid-wicket for 6. And I'm telling you, what a performance here. He came in under pressure after a hat-trick ball. He played the first delivery, got a single. May have seemed like he was in a bit of a tangle getting to his grounds. He got there, settled down to face Dhananjaya, and has put the pressure on him and really mounted an attack where he scored 6 sixes in that over and has put his team back in control of this game at 98 for 4 in 6 overs.
They need 34 from 84 balls. They need 34 from 84 balls. 34 from 84. That's what they need. 34 from 84 balls. It's all happening here. Good evening, Vinci.
Good evening, Vernon. And I must say that that ball took a thorough abusing from the bat of Kieran Pollard. I think if we look at that ball, we'll see several bruises on it from the bat of Kieran Pollard.
Hazaranga in now to bowl to Holder, and Holder is back and just steering this down to third man. Will pick up a couple of runs right here, and the 100 comes up for the West Indies. So 100 up for the West Indies in over number 7. 6.1 overs bowled so far, and this is special. This is really special, Vinci.
And we know Kieran Pollard is known for this. In the Super 50 tournament, we remember an over against Fabian Allen where he did similar damage.
Here is Hazaranga into bowl to Holder. Holder is back and just turning this. Can't score. And the score remains on 100 for 4 in 7 overs. They need 32 more runs from 82 deliveries. That's what they need. Hazaranga in out to bowl to Holder back and punching that past the bowler, and the fielder from cover coming around had a shot at the non-striker's end but missed completely, and the score goes up to 101 for 4. 101 for 4, and Holder goes to 3.
Yes, I think Holder might have been a bit lucky there. Had the ball hit, maybe he would. Oh yes, he would have been definitely way out of his grounds had the ball hit. But he lives. I must give a shout out to our good friend Anthony Iroots Martin. He shouldn't feel bad anymore. I won't go any further with that statement, but Vernon, I think you know where I'm going with that one.
Sure. And the Antigua and Barbuda Cricket Association look to start in their 2-day cricket league. Wait for a while. Here comes Pollard. There's a peel.
And he's bowling.
He's bowled?
It looks like he got the googly there.
He's having a review.
Okay, well,
there's a peel for, I think, leg before.
It appears.
And Gregory Brathwaite gave him out, so he quickly set the review up. That was a googly. So let's see what's happening, because that would be a pretty interesting one. Let's look back at the replay and see what happened. 101 for 4. The West Indies captain, he had a big stride out, and if he didn't get a bat onto that, I think he could be in trouble, Vinci.
Yes. Looks as if he missed completely. That ball was the googly. Left that little space there.
Yes, not tight enough, not covering the line there. Once he didn't get a nick onto it, which shows here on the television replay, I think he could be in trouble.
Seems like he certainly is, but that was a very good, well-bowled delivery by the bowler. I think Pollard was looking for the leg break. The ball went the other way, the googly, and certainly had him defeated.
So West Indies look like they could lose their captain there. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, I think that's going to be out. Yes. So Pollard has to go back. 101 for 5. West Indies lose their 5th wicket right here at Coolidge Vinci, and Gregory Batted, he got it right. So we have to really give him some credit for that. Pollard going back for a quick fire 38 of 11 deliveries.
Yes, and Gregory has been getting it right so far for the night, because the first LBW decision that he gave to Lender Simmons was reviewed, and it was shown that he made the right decision. And this time around, he gave Pollard out, and again, it was reviewed, and again, it showed that he made the right decision. So he's been getting it right, but I think that big stride in, or that big stride out by Pollard, he certainly was trying to keep the spinner out, but the spinner beguiled him with that googly delivery, which certainly had him, playing down the wrong line, hitting him right in front of the off stump, going on to hit leg stump according to the tracker, and so he was a judge LBW. Very good bowling, I would say, by Hasaranga.
Fabian Allen gets his first delivery. Again, he gets another googly. He's out also. So Fabian Allen is in trouble here, and Hasaranga is on a hat trick. I don't even think he should review that one. I think that's dead. And Holder looks at Allen to says, come on, you've got to be tighter than that.
I'm not sure if they have any more reviews, because they would have used up 2 and got those 2 reviews wrong. I'm not sure how many reviews they are allowed in a 20-over game. But remember, Lender Simmons used 1, and that was that went against the West Indies. And also Pollard used 1. That went against the West Indies. So even if they wanted to review it, I don't think they had that it would have been they would have had an opportunity to review there.
So 101 for 6. The target is 132. Hasaranga is on a hat trick, and it's all happening here. Fabian Allen goes back LBW to Allen, and Simmons looks into the dugout as if to say, what is really going on here?
It seems like he's quite isolated also.
He is. He certainly is, and he can't believe what he's seeing right here.
And we know that Dwayne Bravo has the ability to stay with Jason Holder and bring the game home. However, Sri Lanka is very, very buoyant, very, very confident. The spinners have really brought the game back in their favor. 2 wickets in this over by Hasaranga. Earlier, the other bowler, Dhananjaya, had a hat-trick, and so that 5-wicket swing has really swung the game in the favor of the Sri Lankans.
Hat-trick ball. DJ Bravo comes out. Hasaranga waits for DJ Bravo. He gets his big stride right out. Bottom pad close together. Over number 7 completed. 101 for 6. And what DJ Bravo did is what Fabian Allen should have been doing. He was just caught on the crease, and once he missed it, impact in line, it was always going to be problems. Curtains for him.
But then the replay is showing that it would have gone over the stumps. But again, the wasted reviews handcuffed them. They weren't able to use a review in this situation that would have given Allen the benefit of a doubt, and also probably would have reversed the umpire's decision. So here it is that sometimes you have to use your reviews very wisely, and because they weren't used wisely earlier on, they did not have the benefit of a review in this case. So hey, kudos to the Sri Lankans for bowling tightly, and kudos for them taking opportunities and getting the decisions in their favor.
So we know what's going to be happening here, Vinci, for the rest of the series. We're going to be seeing spin, right? But the approach by the West Indians is that they're going to go hard. So we know what is going to be happening, right? Dhananjaya will continue 3 for 53. He's going to bowl out, as Darwin Telemack did say that he think that he should. So he's going to come in now to bowl to Holder. Holder is driving beautifully down the ground. It's gone all the way for 6.
and they're continuing to go hard. Holder using his reach to get to the pitch of that delivery, hitting it hard, straight back past the bowler for 6 runs. As you say, they're going to go hard, but I think the wise thing for the Sri Lankans is to continue with their spin, because that is what has been bringing them success.
A historic day. It's all happening here. Garfield has seen it. Everybody has seen it. The Minister of Sports, the Honorable Chet Green, Melford Nicholas, most of the government ministers are here from Antigua and Barbuda, and they need 25 from 77 balls. Holder is 9. Dhananjaya comes in out the boat to Holder. Holder is back and clipping this one out, and
he's out.
Holder, dropped it. The fielder on the mid-wicket boundary dropped a sitter, and that would have been the 7th wicket for the West Indies. That is supposed to go all the way over mid-wicket. Darwin.
That was supposed to go for 6, but hey, Holder did not get enough bat onto that. He did not elevate it properly, and it was a sitter for the fielder, but he really spilled that catch. He would be, I'm sure he's probably wondering, he probably wants the ground to open up right now and swallow
108 for 6. Holder didn't get the elevation onto it, and maybe casually what he should have maybe done was just hit it down rather than going up. Dhananjaya out the boat to Bravo, and Bravo just hugged himself more or less, but he got off the mark, cool and calm. He's not in any hurry.
Yes.
So pretty much getting an easy single.
I tell you this much, Vernon, Holder did not hit that ball. He really more clipped it than hit it. And had he hit it, maybe it would have been a different result. But he just clipped it, and it went straight into the fielder's side.
23 from 79 balls. Here's Holder getting a beauty and just picked the line up and left that alone. The West Indies are 109 for 6. Vincey, I have to bring Garfield in here to maybe bring home the game here for the West Indies or Sri Lanka. Somebody, both of you will have to bring it home. Over number 8 being bowled. Comes in a bowl to him, he's back and just clobbering this down to long on. So the end of over number 8. The latest score here at the Coolidge Ground, 110 for 6. And what a spell here. They need 22 more runs, Vincey, from 72 balls. More comments from you, and then Garfield Burford will bring it home.
Well, the issue here for the West Indies team is not so much how many deliveries they have left in the game, but how many wickets they have left. And having lost so many wickets so far in the game, they would have put themselves under a bit of pressure. Not only have they put themselves under a bit of pressure, but they have really given a lot of confidence to the Sri Lankan team. Hope that they are thinking that they can actually effect a victory in this game. However, they still have to take 4 more wickets, because deliveries are not going to determine the outcome of this game. It is wickets in terms of whether West Indies can keep their final 4 wickets before they get to the final total, or Sri Lanka can take them.
Here comes Hasaranga bowling a new over here. That one, the stumps were just, the bails were just whipped off by the wicket keeper. Not out. Of course, the batsman, Jason Holder, firmly grounded in his crease. This is the 3rd over. 3 for 8 Hasaranga has figures. Amazing. He bowls and Jason Holder is forward defensive, just getting right out with his left leg there. So we've seen 6 sixes in an over from the captain, Karen Pollard. We've seen a hat trick as well.
We've seen it all.
We've seen so much, and this game is not yet over. Here comes Hasaranga. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this one is just paddled around to the fine leg area. They get 1, so Holder moves up to 12. The score 111 for 6, 111 for 6. Then over number 9.
Well, I said this about Hasaranga. He was known as the breakout star in the Lanka Premier League that ended towards the end of 2020. He took 17 wickets in that tournament, and he also had scored 127 runs with an excellent strike rate of 160.75 runs. So he's a budding star for the Sri Lankan team.
That one is just played into the onside, into the short mid-wicket area by DJ Bravo. He can't score. The score 111 for 6. Let's say that the 17 wickets he took were at 1.29.
According to the information.
Absolutely. Here comes this delivery, flighted, driven into the covers, can't score. Dwayne Bravo remains on 1. He's has faced 5 deliveries so far, 1 ball left in over number 9. Hasaranga has been absolutely impressive. As he said, one of the breakout stars in the Lanka Premier League, a rising star and an impact player. His forward comes Dwayne Bravo, plays this back along the pitch. That's the end of the over, the end of 9th over, 111 for 6. 111 for 6, the West Indies in pursuit of 132. They need 21 more runs to win from 66 balls. The equation certainly favors the West Indies, but with a spinning mystery of the Sri Lankan bowlers, they could certainly be the impact players in this match. It's not over yet until the fat lady sings, and she hasn't even started to clear her throat just yet.
It's not over, but I think Dwayne Bravo is doing the right thing, playing out Hasaranga, because it certainly is a wicket-taking bowler. He certainly has provided some mystery out there and bamboozled some of the other batsmen with those googlies of his. So Dwayne Bravo is doing the right thing, playing him out, hoping that he can play out the 4 overs and they attack the other bowlers who weren't as effective against them. As you can see now that Chimera is coming back, and he didn't have a very good first spell. I think his 1 over went for 20, I think it's 23 runs, somewhere in that region his first over went for. So they will be fancying their chances against Chimera more so than the spinners.
1 over so far for 17 runs. He's up to the wicket and bowls, and this is turned into the leg side. There's a chase around here for the mid wicket, and he comes around to field 2 more runs to Jason Holder. The score now moving on by 2. So 113 for 6. 113 for 6. Holder moves up to 14 from 11. Let's give you the bowling figures so far. Angela Matthews 1 over for 19 runs. He pulled himself early. Akila Dhananjaya 4 overs for 62. He got 3 wickets in that. Dushmantha Chimera, he's back into the attack. His first over cost 17, and Wanindu Hasaranga 3 overs, no maidens, 9 runs, 3 wickets. He's up to the wicket is Chimera, bowls, and this is struck to backward point. There is no run. Jason Holder remains on 14, 113 for 6 in over number 10. West Indies need 19 more runs to win from 64 balls. You're listening to Middle Stump coverage here on the coverage, which is a co-production of ABS Radio and Vibes Radio Dominica. Middle Stump is being heard across the Caribbean and farther afield. It is, in fact, a record number of stations who are tuned into this broadcast, and they're hearing all the excitement which has come from the return of international cricket to the Caribbean. Here comes the Sri Lankan Chimera. He's up to the wicket to bowl to Holder, who strikes this back along the pitch. The bowler trickles down to long on. He gets 1 more. They're doing it very calmly and very sensibly here. There's 19 more runs now to win from 64 balls. The equation is not the issue. The issue is whether or not they can survive the onslaught of the spinners from the Sri Lankan side.
Yes, certainly. And who would have thought that the paltry score of 131 by the Sri Lankans would have generated such excitement in this game? But they certainly have done so with the spinners. The spinners taking 5 wickets between them, both Hasaranga and the other bowler there.
Who is the other bowler, Dhananjaya and Hasaranga.
Dhananjaya and Hasaranga, they have certainly brought the game around for the Sri Lankans.
A slip in place now. Here comes Chimeri's bowls, and this one taken on the pad, but there was height on that one. Loud appeal. Absolutely, it was high, and it was also going down. I think it was going down leg side.
I think it cut back sharply at Dwayne Bravo. You could see him trying to quickly adjust to the length of the ball by trying to work it away. But apparently the Sri Lankans have gone for the review. They think they may have a chance there. And again, they have used their reviews quite efficiently. The first one they used, the decision was reversed in their favor, so they're looking to but it might be a little high, and it also might be going down, but let's wait for to see the whole review play out. But again, it looked like
the decision is coming now, and it's likely going to be not hard, because that one was certainly going. We're going to be seeing a Hawkeye in a short while, but that one seemed to have been going high. But they're looking at the edge first, whether or not there's any bat on that. He got no bat on it. It's a cannon into his pad, but he's a tall man Holder, and he hit him above the knee.
That was actually Bravo.
Sorry, Bravo. Well, and he's relatively tall, and he's hit him above the knee roll. So Bravo is looking anxiously at that review. Let's see the Hawkeye now, and that one is going to go over. So it's missing. Yes, it was high. It wasn't quite going down. It was actually going over middle and leg stump. So, by the way, 2 reviews per team, 1 in each super over if needed. We don't expect that this will go to a super over. So let's see how that one goes. So a review lost by the Sri Lankans, 114 for 6. They need the target is 132. 132 is the target. So the West Indies, in terms of reviews remaining, West Indies none, Sri Lanka 1. So 1 review left for the Sri Lankans. They've used up 1 of their reviews. So 2 reviews per team, 1 in each super over if needed. But we don't expect to go to a super over. So
we see the next to bat would be Kevin Sinclair, and he showed that he has some ability with the bat.
Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket and bowls to Bravo. Bravo comes forward, defensive bat and pad close together. That's making sure that he has all his bases covered there. 1 ball left in over number 10. The target is 132. They need 18 more runs to win from 61 balls. 18 from 61. Chimera has so far conceded 3 runs in this over. He's none for 20. This is his second over. His first over was expensive. It cost him 17 runs, but he's come back here. He's troubled the batsman and he's kept things tight. Bravo remains on 1 off 8. He doesn't need to score faster than that at all. All he needs to do is to stay there. The runs will come. They need 18 from 61. Holder is on 15 off 13. This is a 10th over. 1 ball left in the 10th. And Angela Matthews is directing traffic from a slip. So there's a slip in place. There's a third man on the boundary. There's a backward point. There's a cover on the boundary. There's a mid-off. There is a mid-wicket and a deep backward square leg and a deep fine leg. Here comes Chimera bowls in a short delivery down the leg side, wide signaled by the umpire. So 1 more to the score. 115 for 6 now. 1 ball left. 1 legal delivery left in over number 10. Let's remind you that Hasaranga, as we told you earlier, he topped the wicket charts with 17 at 129 in the Lanka Premier League.
I'm wondering if that's a misprint, if they meant 12.9, but we will have to do some research on that because 1.29 sounds a bit.
Well, you know his figures here. So far, his figures of 3 for 9. In 3 overs.
Yes.
Okay, here comes this delivery from Chimera. Bowls a short delivery over and ducking onto that was and a wide signaled. So another extra onto the score. 117 for 6 now. 117 for 6. Still a legal delivery left to go in over number 10. And so 2 wides bowled so far on the trot by Chimera. He's obviously looking to get that deep backward square leg or that deep square leg into play. There's also a deep fine leg. So he wants to perhaps inveigle Bravo into an injudicious pull or hook shot, but so far Bravo will not be tempted.
And he's bowling with a bit of pace too, so he's going to try that.
Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket now. Bowls, and this one is coming forward. Just turning it into the leg side. Feel it at mid-wicket. That's the end of the over. 141 Ks on that delivery. So we're working up some pace here on the lights at Coolidge. At the end of the 10th over, 116 for 6. The West Indies need 16 from 60 balls. Holder on 15 off 13. Darren Bravo on 1 off 9. That's the latest score here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. Part of the middle stump coverage right here. Collaboration of Vibes Radio Dominica and ABS Radio in Antigua.
Yes, a much better over this over as compared to his first over when he went for 17 runs. Certainly looks like that might be his better end. Had a very good rhythm running up, and you could see him really putting in the effort, bowling some quicker deliveries and trying to induce Dwayne Bravo to playing that shot into the line.
Here comes Hasaranga bowls.
Indeed,
Hasaranga bowling a new delivery, and that one is a turn into the leg side. 1 more run to Holder. He moves up to 16, and the score moving out to 117 for 6, 117 for 6 as Darren Bravo comes back on strike. He's on 1. So that's getting a very decisive left leg forward. There was Jason Holder just turning that one to the leg side and just making sure that he didn't leave anything to chance because Hasaranga has been getting some turn. 3 for 10. And this is his 4th and final over. Dead ball signaled as he just aborted his run-up.
And yes, that last delivery from Hasaranga also was the googly coming off the inside portion of the bat for Holder. But Holder made sure he had that big stride out to, make sure he covered that inward movement.
A leg spinner is Hasaranga that's turning this back with a square is Bravo. He has to retreat to his crease. He was looking for a single there which was not on, and that would have been suicide. So with his leg spin and big hitting down the order, he certainly positioned himself, according to ESPN Cricket Info, as a genuine match winner. Could he be a match winner here? This one is flighted and one bounce down to Thisara Pereira down at mid-on. Bravo looking for the shot there. That was flighted, inveigling him into the drive. That was uppish and airy for much of the way, but it dropped well short of Thisara Pereira. The score remains on 117 for 6. 117 for 6. Here comes Hasaranga. Bowls and forward defensive comes Bravo, making sure that all is set. He has bat and pad close together. 117 for 6. 2 balls left in Hasaranga's spell, and he's really troubled the batsman. 3 wickets he's had. West Indies need 15 from 56. Here comes another delivery coming up for Hasaranga. He's really positioned himself as an impact player for the Sri Lankan side. A young player, and certainly he would want to continue to do that. This one is punched down to the onside of the pitch. Thisara Pereira runs around from mid-on to field. One more, and that's one more to the score. 1 ball left in Hasaranga's spell. So he's bowled 1 ball short of 4 overs. 3 for 11. 3 for 11. So his figures, his economy of 1.29 certainly seems realistic.
Yes, very impressive figures there by Hasaranga, and he would feel very good. The Sri Lankan team would feel very good with his performance going forward into the tournament, because they will know, hey, this is one weapon we can rely on against the West Indian batsmen.
Here comes Hasaranga to bowl his last up ball of his spell. So far he's been impressive. 2 runs conceded in this, his 4th over. 3 for 11. 3 for 11, Hasaranga. He comes up to bowl, and this one is stroked into the offside by Holder. They get 1 run, as doing a little bit of a gymnastics. They're having a little trouble feeling the ball in the covers. There was the number 10 for the Sri Lankan side. That's the end of over number 11. After 11 overs, the West Indies need 13 more runs to win from 54 balls. They're 119 for 6, 119 for 6. Holder on 17, DJ Bravo, Dwayne Bravo on 2 of 13. 13 more runs from 54 balls.
Yes, the Sri Lanka team should be very, very buoyant with the performance there from Hasaranga. His 4 overs going for only 12 runs and effectively striking or taking down 3 of the West Indian batsmen, taking 3 wickets. Very, very, very good bowling performance from him, especially after the initial onslaught by the West Indian batsmen.
Chamira starts a new over, bowls, and this one is played back along the pitch by Jason Holder. That's using the depth of his creases, playing that one on the crease, back along to the bowler who feels on his follow through. So let's tell you the fall of wickets. Lendl Simmons, LBW bowled De Silva for 26, facing 15 balls, 3 4s, 2 6s. Evan Lewis, he went berserk. He went absolutely blitzkrieg. 28. He was caught. Gunalathika bowled Pereira for 28, facing 10 deliveries, 2 4s, 3 huge 6s on the trot. Chris Gale, LBW first ball Pereira. We break for this delivery from Chimera. Bowls, and this one is stroked elegantly into the covers. Deep cover comes off the boundary to field. There is 1 run to Holder. He moves up to Holder moves up to 18. The score 120 for 6, 120 for 6. So Chris Gale, LBW bowled Pereira first ball. Nicholas Puran first ball as well. Caught Dikwala bowled Pereira without scoring first ball. Kyron Pollard, LBW bowled De Silva for 38. 11 deliveries, 6 6s, and those were on the trot. We'll tell you about some of the stats on that. You'd have to remember in 2007, Yuvraj Singh, and before him, Herschel Gibbs, who had that. And by the way, Yuvraj Singh still has the fastest 50 in all forms of cricket, and going berserk to Stuart Broad in that encounter. He was responding to some words by Andrew Flintoff, Freddie Flintoff. Here comes Chimera. He's up to the wicket, bowls, and this is turned stylishly by Dwayne Bravo off his legs into the mid-wicket position. The deep mid-wicket fielder comes off the boundary to field. There is 1 run, so Bravo moves up to 3. The score 121 for 6. 121 for 6. We're in over number 12. They need 11 now from 51 balls. 11 needed from 51 balls. So after the excitement of what had happened earlier, Vince, things have quietened down a bit, and the batsmen are going about it very sensibly, very calmly, taking ones at a time.
Yes, they are. They're feeling a lot less pressure from these bowlers that they're facing. Yes, Chimera is bowling with some pace, but the 2 bowlers that caused the havoc they're now off of the bowling, and so they would feel a lot more comfortable.
Here comes a wide delivery, and that will be signaled the wide as Chimera was looking to bowl a back of a length delivery there, but got his radar off. So that's one more to the total. 122 for 6. 122 for 6. Extras, I'll tell you about extras in a short while in terms of how those have stacked up. In terms of the bowling, in terms of the follow wickets, it was 52 for 1 Evan Lewis went, 52 for 2 when Chris Gale went, 52 for 3 when Nicholas Puran went. So that hat-trick was absolutely turned the match on its head. We'll get back to that as after this delivery from Chimera from the northern end bowls, and this one just dropped close to his thumbs for a second there. Jason Holder didn't quite know where that one went and just had to look back very anxiously. In the end, it was some distance away from his stump on the leg side. And then it was 62 for 4 when Lyndall Simmons went, 101 for 5 when Karen Pollard went, and 101 for 6 when Fabian Allen went. Angela Matthews 1 over for 19 runs. Akila Dhananjaya 4 overs, no maiden, 62 runs, 3 wickets. Dushmantha Chimera, he's bowling now, 2.3 overs, no maidens, 25 runs, no wickets. And Winindu Hasaranga, 4 overs, no maidens, 12 runs, 3 wickets. 3 for 12 in his 4 overs. You can't get any figures better than that. Here comes Chimera. He's up on bowls, and this one is stroked elegantly into the covers, and that will run very close to the boundary. In fact, it runs for 4. Brilliant shot there by Jason Holder off the back foot, punched through cover for 4. What a shot by Jason Holder. He's showing that he's bowled well, and he's also 1 for 19 off his 4, and now he's contributing with the bat. 22 runs off 19, 126 for 6, and they're getting close to the victory. Yes,
he's having a good game, and just in case, just to put this in perspective, West Indies still feel quite comfortable that they'll bring this home. If anyone remembers, Dwayne Bravo is underrated as a batsman. He has 3 test centuries to his name. So certainly very capable with the bat. And the stage of this game does not mean that you have to force the game along. You can just play normal cricket and win.
Here comes Pereira bowls, and this one is short delivery. Looking for the pull shot there was Holder, missing the ball taken by wicketkeeper Dikwela. The end of over number 12, 126 for 6. 126 for 6. 6 more runs needed from 48 balls. Holder on 22. Dwayne Bravo on 3. After more comments from you, you'll make way for Darwin Telemac.
Yes, and we could see that Chimera is still putting in some effort. That ball was short and quick over Jason Holder's left shoulder. It really flew through. You could see that the keeper was jumping to take that delivery, and so Chimera is really putting in the effort. He wants to see if he can stamp his mark on this game also and help maybe turn things around for the Sri Lankans and put them in a better position for victory. But these 2 batsmen are batting very well, very comfortably and very sensibly. And so again, at this moment, West Indies still look like they're on top. But again, anything can happen. We saw a hat-trick early on, and we saw 2 wickets in 2 balls from Hasaranga. So anything can happen. This game has provided many things. A lot of excitement. Even for a small score, a lot of excitement. Plenty things happen. We saw 6 sixes. We saw hat-tricks. Oh, my goodness.
Kathy, let's get him up there. Are you kidding?
6 more needed from 48 balls. It's all happening here. This is the 13th over to be started. 126 for 6. Dwayne Bravo facing up, and he sweeps. That ball is running around to the deep backward square fielder, running around to a fine leg position. Fields, and they get 1 run. Dwayne Bravo moving up by 1 to 4. The score now 127 for 6. 127 for 6. Holder on 22 of 20 comes back on strike. 5 more runs needed now. There's 5 more runs needed, and from 47 balls now in.
Well, certainly West Indies are going to go ahead and bring this home. It's pretty much academic at this point.
Bandara is the one bowling, so he's fresh into the attack. Bandara bowling from the southern end. He'll be bowling now to Jason Holder, who is certainly taking the scruff by the neck, and he's batted very well indeed. He comes forward to Bandara, playing it back along the offside of the pitch. There is no run. He remains on 22. The score 127 for 6. The 13th over. You did say they could hit all this in 12 overs.
Yes, they're about to do so.
Yes, indeed. This one is stroked down to a cover. They can't score. The score remains 127 for 6. Halfway through over number 13, 127 for 6. That was fielded there in the covers by Winindu Hasaranga, who has really been an impact player so far. Here comes this one is bowling, and this one is stroked down to long on, and Bandara just bowling that one pretty much on the stumps. Just going back into this crease was Jason Holden striking that one very elegantly down to long on. One more run to Kimi, moves up to 23. 4 more runs needed now. 128 for 6. Dwayne Bravo comes back in strike.
Yes, and certainly the two very experienced West Indian players outside, and Holder and Bravo should bring this home and bring a climax to an exciting game.
Bravo is turning this one almost squared up there, as he was expecting perhaps that one to have turned the other way. Actually went the other way. Bandara getting some turn on that one, playing it into the offside. He was looking to play that one into the leg side and was squared up, almost looked ungainly. This one is flighted and decent delivery there, getting some variations on that Bandara, and there was oohs and ahs. The end of over number 13 after 13 overs, 128 for 6. 4 more runs needed for victory off 42 balls. Holder on 23, Dwayne Bravo on 4.
Yes, and certainly Bandara blowing in a beautiful over here, 2 runs off it, and an over in which he caused some concern for Dwayne Bravo, not reading it very well. If anything, I think the Sri Lankans would be very encouraged by that last over, as the West Indian batsman did not seem able to read it very well. And but Bravo survived. He's still in there, and I feel like I was just on the phone a little while ago speaking to someone in Dominica, my little Blugums, and she was crying. I want to say, calm down and have a good evening, Daddy Little Blugums.
She's listening, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So, and she, how old?
She's 8.
8. Excellent.
Beautiful little girl. Seems to want to be a gymnast. But I'm going to teach her how to play cricket. Maybe she'll be a cricket player.
She needs to watch Kevin Sinclair.
Doing the flips.
Indeed. Nuhan Prandeep comes into the attack now. 4 more runs needed for victory. He's bowling to Jason Holder, who does it in style.
Mighty hit.
That was brilliantly hit by Jason Holder, wrapping things up. The West Indies secure victory. Victory for the West Indies by 4 wickets in this first T20 International. Jason Holder just lifting Prandeep over long on, high and mighty. Massive 6 and bringing it home in style for the West Indies. A victory by 4 wickets. It was not as easy perhaps as the West Indies hoped and perhaps expected it to have been, but in the end, a victory by 4 wickets. Jason Holder ending with 28 after that massive 6, but there were some hiccups. There were some scares for the West Indies. Certainly that hat-trick by Dhananjaya was one of the highlights, and as well the 6 sixes by the captain Karen Pollard was absolutely unmissable, because he was able to take Dhananjaya to the cleaners. In the end, it was a victory by 4 wickets by the West Indies. A very good match indeed, and without spectators, but spectators who were watching on ESPN and listening to our coverage and watching our coverage on CWI's YouTube channel would have been thoroughly impressed, thoroughly enthralled and engrossed by the action here. The first time that international cricket is being played at Coolidge, and what a memory it has served up. This one is for posterity, Darryl.
Well, certainly it was a big game. It's a 2020 game, which seemed to have been going down one way. Lewis and Simmons were going great guns, and it all seemed like it was going to be over after 3 overs, 50 runs. It seems academic, and 5 overs it was going to be over, but it turned on its head when we had 3 wickets going down, and it was 3 big wickets. We saw the Universe boss go, we saw Puran go, and then, oh my goodness, it seemed to be just falling apart. All of a sudden,
Evan Lewis, and then
yes,
Evan Lewis, and then Chris Gayle, and then Nicholas Puran.
Yes, it just seemed like it was going downhill, and in comes the big hitting big man, the man that is sought after all over the world. Pollard came in, played the same normal way he does, hitting 6 sixes in 1 over, changing the game around, and we saw Holder batting well on 29 and 24 deliveries, bringing it home. Bravo came in and just figured, let me just stick around and let Holder finish it up. In the end, West Indies won, and this is one of those games, Garfield, when you sit back and you ask yourself, who gets man of the match, and it's easy. Pollard gets it, but there's so many close players with it. Lewis did well, Simmons did well, Hasaranga did very well as well, but Pollard takes it home as the man of the match, and he certainly deserved it with the 6 sixes, scoring 38 in quite a few deliveries.
All right, we're going to be going to the audio in a short while of Karen Pollard, the captain, with his 6 sixes. I'll tell you in a short while. Just before we go to the audio from him, let me remind you what had happened. Of course, the West Indies winning the toss earlier, electing to field first. They put in the Sri Lankans into bat, and they had a torrid time. They really didn't get off. They really had some problems getting the ball off the square. A number of dot deliveries. They tried to rotate the strike. In the end, they got the 131 for 9. 131 for 9 in their 20 overs. The West Indies overhauling that target with 41 balls to spare, winning by 4 wickets. After some hiccups as well, Karen Pollard getting his $500 there for the man of the match. We'll be hearing his audio in a very short time as well. So the West Indies winning by 4 wickets with 41 balls remaining. Let's go over to Darren Brown. But let's go over to Karen Pollard.
He's probably just set it up. Darren Ganga isn't ready yet. Garfield, he's probably just getting his mic prepared.
Yes, indeed. He's just taking the pictures for keepsake and for posterity. What a match we've had, and he'll talk about the fact that this was the first match at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, the home of West Indies cricket, and the fact that he had 6 sixes to go with the likes of Yuvraj Singh of India, to go with the likes of Herschel Gibbs from South Africa, and really has stamped his authority on the rest of the series. Of course, more white ball cricket to come. Let's go over to the audio. We should be picking that up as we speak. Nothing yet. All right, so we'll get, hopefully, we'll get some audio from the ground as well a bit later on. But let me just remind you in terms of what happened when the West Indies batted. Lendl Simmons went LBW ball to De Silva for 26, facing 15 deliveries, 3 fours, 2 sixes. Evan Lewis caught Gunalathica, bowled Pereira for 28, 10 balls. He faced 2 fours, 3 sixes. Chris Gale, LBW bowled Pereira. He was out for first ball. When first ball, as I said, that was a disappointment for the very, very small number of people here who were officials, for example, and some of the members of the government here of Antigua and Barbuda who would have looked for the universe boss to really tee off in this contest. Nicholas Puran caught Dikwala, the wicketkeeper, ball Pereira without scoring. That was the second wicket of the hat-trick, and then the third, so it was Evan Lewis, then Chris Gale, and then Nicholas Puran. Nicholas Puran was the hat-trick wicket that went, so the 2 going without scoring. Chris Gale first ball, Nicholas Puran first ball, and Karen Pollard went berserk. He had 38 from 11 deliveries, no fours, but 6 sixes. Those 6 sixes on the trot in 1 over from Dhananjaya. He really took him to the cleaners, certainly dismissed him with a plum, almost disdain. Fabian Allen went LBW ball to Silver without scoring first ball. Dwayne Bravo was not out on 4. Jason Holder not out on 29. 29 of 24 deliveries, 1 4, 2 sixes. Dwayne Bravo not out on 4. 17 balls and no boundaries in that. He never needed to hit any boundaries. He just needed to have stayed there. It was 52 for 1 when Evan Lewis went, 52 for 2 when Chris Gale went, 52 for 3 when Nicholas Puran went. That was a hat-trick. Then 62 for 4 when Lendl Simmons, 101 for 5 when Karen Pollard went, and the last wicket that were gone for the West Indies, 101 for 6 when Fabian Allen was dismissed. Victory, therefore, by 4 wickets with 41 balls remaining. Angela Matthews, 1 over for 19 runs. He didn't bowl again. Akila Dhananjaya, he got the hat-trick. 4 overs, no maidens, 62 runs, 3 wickets. The hat-trick, but he also conceded 6 sixes in 1 over. Also, Winindu Hasaranga, what a match from him. What a bowling performance. 4 overs, no maidens, 12 runs, 3 wickets. 3 for 12 in 4 overs. Ashan Bandara, just 1 over that went for 2 runs. And Nuwan Pradeep, just 1 ball. It took only 1 ball for Jason Holder to lift him over long on for 6 and bringing the match to an end. 134 for 6. 134 for 6. West Indies winning by 4 wickets with 41 balls remaining. The look there at how the bowling went for the Sri Lankans. Now on Pradeep. Sorry, you're looking for Hasaranga.
Hasaranga. Yeah, well, certainly Hasaranga would have been happy not to have been bowling to Pollard. I don't think he would have had such good figures if that had happened. But I must say it's been an interesting game. Here comes a very experienced West Indies team playing against, I would say, less than standard Sri Lankan team. A few young players coming out here. Nonetheless, they stood, they sang the national anthem, they represented their country well. They went out, they put up a paltry score, not enough here, but they went and they fought. And they fought strong and they tried their best. They played with grits. And in the end, they came a little close which means that West Indies can't look at this team and take it for granted. They now have to certainly understand there's a fight out there. When you look at the type of spin bowling that we saw, it looks very interesting that these bowlers could cause some problems. So West Indies would have to go back, take a look at how they played here, and commit themselves to not just win, but win in a far more dominant fashion. Skipper Pollard must be happy. He's one up. He has 2 more games in the T20s to go. He would want to win all 3. He's on track to do so, and I suspect if his batting was to click a little bit better, it would put him in a better position the next time. So good luck to West Indies for the next game, and good luck to Sri Lanka as well, and hope when they come back we can see even a stronger performance from that team, pushing the West Indies a little bit more and pulling out a lot more from them.
Absolutely. So it's the 10th ranked West Indies in T20 internationals, the 7th ranked Sri Lanka in T20 internationals. It promises to be a fantastic rest of the competition in terms of the 2 matches left in this T20 series. Of course, there are 3 ODIs as well. Those take place at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, and 2 test matches. Those also take place at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. What a match it is, and what a fantastic series this promises to be as international cricket returns to the Caribbean after hiatus caused by COVID-19. Strict COVID-19 protocols in place, Darwin. No spectators in place. Strict protocols in terms of safety, hand washing, all the protocols, but ensuring that cricket can be back, international cricket in the Caribbean.
Well, you know what, Garfield, if you think about spectators, this game may have been the most listened to or watched game maybe in the Caribbean. There is so much curfews all over the Caribbean. Everyone is in. They want something to look at, want something to experience. They may not have been here in the stadium, but certainly at their homes, on the tubes, looking and listening. There were all the West Indians, and far away in a distant land, there were millions of people watching the team put up a fight. I think this game may have been watched by more people than we could have ever dreamed would have been in the stadium. What a performance by a team that did not perform so well. They fought well, and they're saying this is big man's cricket. It ain't gonna be given to you so easily. You need to show up, step up, or we're gonna take you down. They almost did. West Indies has to perform a little bit better to show that they are in fact the dominant team as they try to move towards the as Graves said, the CEO of Cricket West Indies. They want to use this platform to prepare for the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, and so they have to not just win. They have to start winning dominantly to prove that they can beat the bigger teams as they move up the chart.
Absolutely. You're listening to our coverage, Middle Stump, here on Vibes Radio Dominica, brought to you by Vibes Radio FM in Dominica in association with ABS Radio here in Antigua, a co-production that is being heard all across the Caribbean. In fact, we're being heard on more stations than ever before across the archipelago of the Caribbean. Plus, the coverage is going beyond the archipelago of the Caribbean because we're also on CWI's YouTube channel. Perhaps you're absolutely right. You know, you could actually be a clairvoyant, you could actually be a prophet, because this could well turn out to be the most listened to and the most watched West Indies series in the history of certainly modern West Indies cricket.
Absolutely, and there's a lot. Well, you almost don't want to say it's because of what it is, but certainly COVID has created an avenue that can be exploited by West Indies cricket. You have a lot more people watching. That means the interest, the excitement in West Indies cricket can continue to grow. There are lots of young people home. They would be sitting, listening and watching with their families. Folks that would be out, they can't be out. They're inside, sitting back, enjoying this game. And certainly for West Indies cricket, this can go a long way. The team has to do well. They're led by a very persistent, dominant and strong skipper. I'm happy to see that they have actually chosen to make Kieran Pollard the white ball captain. He is, in fact, I think the man who should be there right now, and he's leading well. He likes to win. He batted as such. He bowled that way, and the future looks bright for him. He has to ensure, however, that the team gets it right. And even when you win, you go back, you look at all the flaws that were there, and you correct them. Simmons, as the coach, would not be happy with some of the things he saw. He would sit down and speak to the guys, encourage them what not to do, what to do better, both from the bowling standpoint and the batting standpoint, because the aim is not just to win, it's to get better. And we are going to see how they execute in the next game, and hopefully we will see some improvements on both sides. If we do, it'll be even a better game.
Absolutely. So it's a look there at, of course, the fact that in this competition or in this match there have been some big impact players, of course, who are perhaps lining up a harbinger of what we can expect in the rest of the other two T20s, Friday and Sunday. And of course, for the ODIs, as we go into the ODIs, Captain Karen Pollard top scoring with 38 from 11 with 6 sixes. And of course, we had the Universe boss who didn't tee off today, who was dismissed first ball, but of course we all know that he's the most destructive batsman in the history of T20 cricket. Plus, Hasaranga has proved himself that he's an impact player as well.
Yes.
He came from the Lanka Premier League with big performances, and he's looking to take that momentum here into the series against the West Indies. Plus, Dhananjaya, notwithstanding he was really hit out of the park for 6 sixes, he certainly proved that he can also be a wicket taker as well. So some of the impact players
don't
set up as well.
Don't downplay Matthews. I mean, Matthews, big impact player. He's certainly someone that the West Indies has to pay attention to. He didn't do well today. He played a very nice shot, was brilliantly caught. It was well set up that way, but no one can doubt that Matthews is a dominant player who can change a game as well. So by no stretch of the imagination should the West Indies drop their guards. They, if anything, they have to lift their game the next time, bowl tighter, bat better. They fielded well, I must say. So the fielding, I'll give them an A on the fielding. On the bowling, maybe an A. They bowled very well. On the batting side, although they won, I'd say they get a B- on that, because we shouldn't have lost that many wickets to score 137 runs on this track with Simmons and Lewis going so well. I think we have a soft area here that we should not have had. So a bit to tighten on. And as you look lower down, it is very encouraging to see Bravo and Holder batting at that depth, which means your batting has a lot of depth in it, even with Sinclair in the back, and followed up by the other players. It certainly is a deep batting team here for the West Indies T20 team.
All right, we're wrapping up our coverage here. Middle Stump brought to you by Vibes FM Dominica in association with ABS Radio in Dominica, being heard right across the Caribbean. The impact players will leave you with the news that the Sri Lanka batting first, put into bat by the West Indies, 131 for 9, and their top scorer in that encounter, 39 from Pathum Nisanka, 39 from him. The top bowlers for the West Indies, 2 wickets for Obed McCoy, a wicket each for Kevin Sinclair, Fidel Edwards, Jason Holder, Dwayne Bravo, and Fabian Allen, with 2 wickets for Obed McCoy. And then when the West Indies responded to leading 132 for victory, they reached 134 for 6. Victory by 4 wickets with 41 balls remaining, a top score of 38 from Captain Karen Pollard, including what will be talked about across the cricketing universe, 6 sixes on the trot, 6 sixes, man of the performance by the captain Karen Pollard. The bowling for the Sri Lankans, 3 wickets each for Akila Dhananjaya and Winindu Hasaranga. We leave you, of course, with thanks to all who participated in our broadcast, Darwin Telemack, my colleague Vernon Springer, and Vincy Boyne, along with technical support from the head of technicals, Trevor Parker, and Taj Martin. Thank you so much for listening. We welcome you back on Friday for the second T20 National, West Indies Sri Lanka, here at Coolidge. Goodbye.
You've just heard commentaries on the West Indies Sri Lanka series, a production of Vibes Radio, the champion station, in association with ABS Radio